say the third. Bevan's been out of action with finger he broke. So there's one area of importance as far as he's concerned today, apart from wanting to assist New South Wales to win the match. He needs to persuade the Australian selectors that he's fit to play first class or test cricket again. Team to tour West Indies is being chosen shortly. Bevan was in the early tests against England and missed out, and since then has broken the finger. For 166.
Who's got everything? Thrifty discounts. The bathroom renovators. Thrifty discounts. The kitchen updaters. Thrifty discounts. The plumbing operators. Thrifty discounts. If you're not shopping thrifty, you're not saving money. At Kenzie and Granville, the big green place. Who's got everything? Thrifty discounts. The bathroom renovators. Kitchen updaters. Plumbing operators. Who's got everything?
Beamy Street, Campsie and Parramatta Road, Granville.
Thrifty discounts.
5 for Lee and 16 for Bevan. Lee's a strongly built player, full right-hander. He's one of the players the Australian selectors will have an eye on for the opportunity to produce a middle of the batting order all-rounder. Problem with Steve Waugh there not being able to bowl. And someone like Shane Lee, not especially him, but someone like him, quality young player, could solve the selectors' problems there.
I guess he'd be a candidate for the Australian A side that's touring England later on in the year. Certainly it would be a selection for the future.
Very important team, that one, going across to play a number of matches in England. Give them a taste of different conditions. Other cricket being played around the world. Test match going on in Harare at the moment. It's received a bit of publicity, not for all the right reasons. It's a rest day there today, which will be a comfort to a lot of people. Pakistan 231 and Zimbabwe headed them on the first innings with Andy Flower making 37, Guy Whittle 34. Aqib Javed has taken 4 for 64.
Yes, that series stands at 1-1. This is the deciding test match. Very close there. I wouldn't like to bet on who's going to win that match.
Inzamam ul Haq made 101 out of 231. Ijaz Ahmed 41. Heath Streak 4 for 53. No mention there of Amir Sohail. Now Shane Lee has strike here at Bellerive. Market is the bowler. Strong medium fast bowler. And in the game between South Africa and India at Hamilton, New Zealand, South Africans out of their full 50 overs made 6 for 223. Cullinan top score with 65. Gary Kirsten, the left-hander, made 80. So they've got away to decent target there. Anil Kumble took 4 wickets. The Nine Network showed viewers the highlights of the first clash in that competition in New Zealand. That was New Zealand, Australia. And there's another game coming up tomorrow. That's at Eden Park, Auckland. New Zealand against Australia. There'll be highlights tomorrow evening there as well. First game was a thriller on what seemed to be a pretty ordinary sort of pitch. A lot of turn and ball played at varying heights. That was on the same pitch they'd used for the test at Basin Reserve Wellington. But highlights of that game we'll come back to in just a moment. 3 for 168.
This is Oasis. The refreshing fruit drinks nice tea is made with natural fruit juice. They say one drink and you escape to a tropical oasis. Aye, man. It works.
Would you like a new car every 2 years? A car with a guaranteed buyback price? A car that's always under warranty? Well, you can have it with Red Carpet Options. Just ask Richard Seidman.
In my case, I took the 2-year 40,000 kilometre option. At the end of this 2-year period, I have 3 options. Either to purchase the vehicle outright, I could give the keys back and have nothing more to pay, or I could restart the red carpet plan again. There are only 2 conditions. One relates to mileage, which is easy to accommodate, and the other is to keep the car in good condition, both of which are very simple things to attain.
Call 008 035 666 or see your authorised Ford dealer for more information about Red Carpet Options. The best way to drive a new Ford.
David, do you know how late it is?
It's 6 a.m. Thanks, Dad, yeah. I slept in.
You're getting up?
For my jog, you know? Healthy mind, healthy body. So you finally started looking after yourself. Yeah. Well, that's enough pleasure. Pain calls.
The things we do.
Kellogg's Sultana brand. Don't mention it's healthy and they'll eat it by the boxful.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Introducing the new range of Honda Buffaloes, now with 25% more power. High-performance lawnmowers with Honda's overhead valve technology for cleaner running and quieter mowing. There are 5 champions to choose from, including self-propelled models and mulching mowers, all ultra-reliable and simple to start. So get a winner working for you. Catch a Honda Buffalo at your Honda dealer now.
Back here at Bellerive, there's been plenty doing today by way of excitement in this Mercantile Mutual Cup game. New South Wales 3 for 168 from 34 overs. 50 over a side match. And this is the way Patterson was out. He played very well, out for 62, stumped by Atkinson.
Yes, Mark Hatton was getting a little bit of turn there early on. Jason Arnberger, who partnered Patterson at the start of the innings, was run out for a well-made 73. Direct hit there from Rodney Tucker, the Tasmanian captain, and then another direct hit, this time Jamie Cox, getting rid of Roberts before he got off the mark. So a couple of handy run-outs for Tasmania when the bowlers were struggling. Bowler doing well there to get a hand on that one. Ball was thumped quite firmly by Shane Lee. I was talking about Shane Lee being at the academy last season. His brother was down there as well just for a few weeks. Brett Lee, younger brother, pace bowler. quite quick. Doesn't bat anywhere near as well as Shane, but he's a little bit quicker as a bowler. It's quite interesting to see those contests in the nets. Brett Lee has been playing in the New South Wales second 11. The other thing that was interesting, Rich, we did a little bit of an exercise there where we've got the batsman playing the hook shot, so the pace bowlers were sort of given license to bang them in short in the nets. You've never seen eyes light up so quickly, particularly young Brett Lee.
I really like to see plenty of competitive instincts there. The chap on your screen at the moment looks as though he's got some ability. He's been playing for New South Wales. Pretty unfortunate for the selectors that just the loss of one aspect of a cricketer's ability, as is the case with Steve Waugh with his bowling, can throw things into such confusion. I'd have thought that'll make life pretty difficult for them in that selection they're coming up with, Ian, the West Indies team to be named tomorrow night.
Yeah, although Mark Waugh really can he can do a pretty good job there with his bowling, as we saw in a couple of test matches against England.
Free for 170.
Right now, hundreds of people at Mercantile Mutual are thinking about your future.
What are you going to do when you grow up?
The sort of insurance and finance you might need.
What kind of car will you have?
And how changing economic conditions might affect your investments and superannuation.
What kind of job do you want? Job?
So, if you're with Mercantile Mutual, your future is in good hands.
Free for 170, and Tony Gregg was commenting earlier that looks a very tranquil scene out there, the River Derwent. Those whitewater men are all like that. For a lot of us, that is wild and blustery. 35 overs gone here at Bellerive. 3 for 170, 7 for Lee, and 18 for Bevan. Rodney Tucker is going to bowl. Marquette none for 32, Young none for 36 from a full 10. Miller has had 24 taken from 4. McGinty 27 from 7, and Hatton, the left-arm spinner, has gone for 46 from 6.
What is it about those Cumberland boys that makes them so keen on swimming, Rich? You and Dougie Walters are not a couple of noted swimmers, both played for Cumberland.
It's not the swimming that's the worry, it's the width of the pool. Dougie Walters was a country boy, same as I was, and you didn't have too many swimming pools up around Dungog and down around Jugiong and places like that. And we were Cumberland boys, Walters and Benno, but it's now become Parramatta.
So I must say you're the only person I've ever seen doing widths of the pool rather than lengths of the pool.
It's a very narrow pool as well. Been a few fumbles from Tasmania today, only because of the pressure they're under. A shortage of enthusiastic appealing out there. Atkinson had one opportunity earlier where his back was to the umpire, therefore he obscured the stumps, and it's much the same there.
Smart piece of fielding here by Colin Miller. He throws to Shane Lee's end rather than Michael Bevan, and that's good thinking. You've really got not much chance of getting Michael Bevan. That was a good throw. I say you were better than Dougie Walters in one area though in the pool, Rich. I have seen you get your hair wet in the pool. I've never seen Dougie Walters get his hair wet in the pool.
Well, as kids, there were rumours around about what chlorine could do to your hair. They always tried to avoid that. Rodney Tucker has put himself into the attack here.
Bowls the slow ball generally pretty well, Rod Tucker, but that one got away from him a bit. That was the one out of the back of the hand. Leg cutter style of slow ball.
New South Wales won the toss here this morning, and they've moved now to a very strong position, 3 for 176.
Enya. First, there was the extraordinary album Watermark. Then the magical Shepherd Moons. Now comes the long-awaited digitally remastered album in this wonderful trilogy, Enya, The Celts. Enya, The Celts, a truly remarkable album. Get it now.
Three for 176, Bevan 20. Lee has moved on to 11 from 18 balls. McGinty will be the bowler. Another Victorian's in the commentary box now. Bellerive, with him is Greg Ritchie.
Thank you, Richie Beno. Oh, I can't quite understand Michael Bevan's tactic here. He's a beautiful straight player, and all we've seen from him today has been the dab, trying to cut the ball through the gully region. For a long time, Tasmania had a gully in, and they dropped him there as well. But when you can play in front of the wicket, there's no need to do that against a medium pacer on a good bouncy pitch. But New South Wales still well placed. Yes, after winning the toss, New South Wales away to a great start. Arnberger and Patterson scoring freely in the top order. Roberts unfortunately run out without scoring after 36.2 overs, 3 for 176. That's a very good base for a big score. If Bevan and Lee get on with it, Maxwell to come, Emery, McNamara are all handy with the bat. So Bevan winning form, a beautiful stroke player. There's the fall of the 2 wickets. 2 of them run out. That was a real boost for Tasmania's chances, but a very good stand by Arnberger and Patterson to set the foundation for what should be a big score. Conditions are perfect here in Hobart. Beautiful day, and about 20 degrees at the moment. He's playing from memory, Michael Bevan, just pushing and prodding there, not really trying to take the bat to the ball.
The New South Wales run rate has dropped a little bit in the last 5 or 6 overs, back to 4.8. They're still well placed to make a big score. Yes, Michael Bevan, just see him there in your picture, playing forward, playing those forward defensive strokes. He hasn't hit a lot of balls in front of the wicket, and it would appear that he's being troubled somewhat by that injury to his finger.
Seems a little bit concerned about his injured thumb there, Bevan. Well, Weather needs a big score here today to keep his name up in front of the national selectors. He won't get a better pitch. Good outfield. His strike rate has dropped to 51.2. There he goes again. He picks up a single. It's 3 for 179.
Come on out to Parramatta and walk down Auto Alley.
If you don't come out to Auto Alley now, you're crazier than ever, because we've got Pointed Parramatta, Terry Shields Toyota, Thompson Ford, Parramatta Mitsubishi. It's like an all-year motor show with dealers giving top trades and special discounts just to get your business. Plus, there's over 600 top-quality used cars. You'd have to be crazy not to come out to Auto Alley, so...
Come on out to Parramatta and walk down Auto Alley.
New South Wales have won the toss at Bellerive, and they're 3 for 179 after 37 overs. Bevan and Lee, the young batsman at the crease. Tucker with a slower ball's whipped away. Just a single. Captain Rod Tucker has got a job to do with his bowlers now. Marquette has 2 to bowl. He's been tidy, 8 overs for 32. Young, once again, a good performance. No wickets for 36. Miller 4. McGinty 8. And spinner Hatton, 6 overs, 1 for 46. In the air, but it's safe. Shane Lee, very promising all-rounder. Get team balance, you need a batsman bowler or a bowler batsman. In this case, he's on a par. He's a very handy bowler and a very good hard-hitting batsman. There he goes again. I'm not sure why he hasn't got a gully in, Rod Tucker. It's his only scoring shot at the moment, man a bit off stump. Yes, for the left-hander, you would have thought that Tucker would have a man in that position there, just to force him to hit it somewhere else with a bit of power. It's been dropped once by Di Venuto in the gully. Well bowled, good change of pace.
Yes, it's interesting. Rod Tucker has had a lot to think about this morning, but he hasn't been too perceptive when it comes to Michael Bevan. He bowls a good slower ball here, because Bevan obviously is struggling to hit the ball in front of the wicket. Play the shot straight down the ground. Just come back to it in a moment.
Wide called.
He's struggling to hit the ball with any pace and any power in front of the wicket, Michael Bevan. Rod Tucker doesn't seem to have picked that point up, and he's still got long on and long off back for him. As Bill mentioned, he'd be far suited to putting some men in the close-in positions.
Beautifully driven. Bevan's quick. He's going to take him on. He's not. There's important overs for Tasmania to defend well in the field. They've been a little bit sloppy. 2 good run-outs, but generally speaking, there's been 1 or 2 fumbles and wild throws. The keeper there's got a big job to do. Mark Atkinson to keep the standard up. Hatton, the fieldsman. Three for 184.
I was working late and I realised our 15th wedding anniversary was coming up. And I had wanted to do something special, so I called Citibank. Yes, I wanted to find out how many rewards points I've got accumulated on my Citibank MasterCard.
Do you think Mrs. Schwartz would prefer the mountains or the coast?
Oh, she just loves the country.
Great, I'll get things moving then.
It was simple. And all I did was use my Citibank MasterCard.
Bonus rewards points only from Citibank. To apply for a card, call a Citiphone banker now.
New South Wales 3 for 184. 12 overs to be bowled. And it'll be Miller, Colin Miller, to come back into the attack for Tasmania from the Church Street end. Glorious day in Hobart. It's mid-20s, very little breeze. Ideal for cricket. And good conditions, good pitch, fast outfield.
Colin Miller's been a little expensive so far this morning. Just bowled 4 overs, no wicket for 24. Rod Tucker will be hoping he'll be keeping it a little tighter than that. Shane Lee's the batsman New South Wales are looking to score quickly at the moment. Bevan a little restricted by that injury to his thumb. He's just sort of dabbing the ball around. Shane Lee has shown that he can hit the ball very hard, hit the big shots, combined with the quick singles that they're taking. It's important that they still find the boundary. Shane Lee, early on in his career, still with a big job here to do.
No change in the field of Bevan, just the 4 men inside the circle. No slip or gully. We see the man coming across now. Tucker from backward square leg. He's going to the position, not quite in the gully. almost a backward point, but certainly in the area where Bevan has been dabbing the ball. Does it again. Oh dear. Not good cricket for a guy of his ability, really. He's got a good hitter at the other end, and all he's doing is trying to dab the ball. There's been 2 run-outs already. And these last 12 overs, you need to play a shot or 2. The boundaries are stopped.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether he can, though, Bill. I think this problem with his thumb is restricting his shot play that much, and I just cannot for the life of me understand why Rod Tucker is not acting upon it, bringing his men up from long off and long on to make Bevan hit over the top, because he just doesn't appear to be able to do it.
Keeps that in the air with not a lot of power, just a single. This is a situation for New South Wales, a big opening stand, and the loss of 2 wickets, both run out at the 30th over. Finally coming up now by Miller. That's a dangerous pull. He's pushing back long on, so the finally inside the circle. Long off and long on quite deep for the big hitting Shane Lee. Oh, bowled. A little bit of outswing, slow delivery. Michael Bevan been just working the ball around. 18 singles and 25 of 47 balls faced. .106 opening stand between Arnberger and Patterson really asked for a bit of attacking play for the number 3, really. It's whipped, and the man who gets it just inside the circle. Good save. Just a single. And McGinty doing a good job. It's always a dangerous ploy to bring up the fine leg, and he dives away to his right and saves 3 runs.
Certainly is a dangerous ploy, particularly if you're going to continue to bowl at leg stump. A good piece of feeling. Got Colin Miller out of jail on that occasion.
Off the over, 3 for 188.
Tonight, a brilliant Tooheys Challenge double-header. At 8:30, the Penrith Panthers take on the North Sydney Bears. Then at 10:30, it's Newcastle up against Brisbane. The quarter-final challenge action continues from 8:30 tonight, exclusive on 9. On 60 Minutes.
This is the most disturbing story I've ever reported. Monstrous accusations.
It's absolutely true.
For the first time, both sides of this divided family tell their story.
I haven't done these things.
7:30 Sunday.
3 for 188. Down to long off, just the single. Sports update at the MCG, a vital match between Queensland and Victoria. Queensland with the 2 first innings points need 201 for victory. They're 1 for 27 in the second innings. Matthew Hayden out for a duck. He's only ever made 2 ducks in first-class cricket. 104 innings, both against Victoria. One would assume on the final day in the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is a very good batting pitch, that Queensland will get that 201, but in the past they get the collywobbles in this sort of situation. Barsby on 7 and Martin will have 12 not out.
Collywobbles, all right, Bill.
Be wide, and it's called. The umpires have been very good here this morning and this afternoon. Umpires Donaldson and Hogarth not missing a trick. Good consistent umpiring.
This time Tucker down the leg side too far. Good call. Got a very good slower ball, Rod Tucker. Quite difficult to pick. He's got the one that he bowls like an off break, and one as he's just bowled here, which he actually rolls out the back of his hand. And you just watch the back of his hand here, and it comes over the top. You see the seam going straight down. Quite a good leg spinner, actually. And it's a very good delivery to use in one-day cricket when you've got a batsman who's looking to get after you.
Hot chance, put down. What happens when you hit the ball hard? Shane Lee launching into that off drive. Tucker got a hand to it. Normally a brilliant fieldsman. Be disappointed with that because it's been a change of pace and short of a good length. There it goes. One hand and put it down.
Well, that's what Tasmania needed at this stage, is another wicket.
In the air again, but not with any power. Lee looking for two and getting it. Good over from Captain Tucker. Good change of pace, nice length and line. But unfortunately, let himself down with that block chance.
Well, that was another example there of why Rod Tucker could afford to bring that man up at mid-off when Michael Bevan's on strike, because he just doesn't possess the power to hit it past him.
Three for 193.
Australia's greatest musical star, Jill Perryman, is Dolly Levi in the spectacular new production of Broadway's greatest musical, Hello, Dolly. Dazzling, said the critics. Splendid, effervescent, a solid gold showstopper, proudly sponsored by Oryx Australia. Hello, Dolly. How could you miss it?
10 overs to be bowled to New South Wales. They're 3 for 193. Not losing their way, but certainly losing the momentum as far as boundaries are concerned. Lee and Bevan in particular, the experienced partner, not really hitting the ball too hard. This is a big chance for Shane Lee now. Colin Miller comes in from the Church Street end.
Bevan will look for two. Won't get it. Shane Lee showing that he's eager to get on with things, advancing down the wicket on that occasion to Colin Miller. Good tactics, trying to throw Miller off his line and length. See him just shuffle a couple of paces down there. A good batting from him. But as Bill mentioned, Tasmanian's doing a good job now in terms of keeping the loose deliveries under control. The boundaries just aren't coming.
Gone this time. You can only dab so often. And that's the end for Michael Bevan. Trying to work Miller through the gully. It went straight through to Atkinson. That's a big wicket for Tasmania.
Very good wicket for Tasmania. Colin Miller, the man, bowls a very good line, keeps it in close to Bevan. And you'll just notice there, Bevan just really getting it off the face of the bat. And at the end of his innings, 28 from 51 balls. Vital wicket for Tasmania. New South Wales 4 for 194.
There's a revolution happening, and its name is Forrest Gump. In the Summer of Gump, an album of songs that have changed the course of history. 32 all-time classics on one brilliant double CD. Forrest Gump, the album of a lifetime.
Magnum. It's bliss. Pure luxury. My special moment. I'm in a world of my own. That first bite.
I have to have one now.
Oh, the chocolate cracks. My heart melts. Nothing compares to Magnum. Perfection.
Ecstasy.
Passionate. Yeah, I'm hooked. It's all mine.
All-rounder Neil Maxwell taking guard. Going an average of 13, but a very good strike rate of 75, batting in the lower order for New South Wales. Energetic and courageous cricketer, Neil Maxwell. Very handy in this situation. Good team player. Miller has done the job for his captain because Michael Bevan made, when it was too close to him, probably just opened the face and straight through the wicketkeeper. Regulation out. A big wicket for Tasmania. Colin Miller's been around, playing for Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania in the Sheffield Shield competition. Always a good, honest trier. Has days when he can bowl sides out when he gets this outswinger going. His best figures 4 for 48 off 10 against Western Australia. Here today has 1 for 29 off 5.4 overs. Change of pace, making it very hard for the wicketkeeper. He's only a tiny man diving forward to get that on the half volley. Just wonder sometimes whether the wicketkeeper should stand up in a situation like this just to make it a bit harder for the batsman if they make a charge.
Colin Miller using that slower ball again. Both he and Tucker possess very good slower deliveries. Miller prefers to use the off-spin action for his slower delivery, and it's very effective. It's not easily detected. And in this situation, the use of it is very, very important.
Maxwell off the mark. A wicket and 2 runs off the over. 4 for 195.
Singing along to my favorite songs, feeling fine with the best songs of all time. To WS, best songs of all time. To WS, the best songs of all time.
.41 overs bowled to New South Wales, a 4 for 195. Neil Maxwell on strike. Shane Lee on 19. Need to push on now. They need a boundary or 2. Last boundary was scored in the 29th over. Good running by Shane Lee. For 2 again, it may be a bit dangerous. It's much straighter. It's good fielding. Jamie Cox doing a great job at deep cover.
Very quick to the ball, Jamie Cox, and good pick up and throw. Very well balanced. The skip throw into Rod Tucker right beside the stumps. Very good young cricketer, that man.
That's beautifully bowled, and with a bit of luck for Tucker, he beat him neck and crock with a booger delivery and get inside edge back into the stumps. Slow off break, I think, and beat him. Didn't find the timber. Tasmania can hold them to 235 or 240. It'd be a great performance here. 106 for the first wicket. It's a great start for New South Wales.
Another slower delivery. Manages to find a single. One of the problems that Tasmania face is that they've got to bowl another 9 overs in just a little over 35 minutes. So they're going to struggle to get those overs in. The rule being that if they don't complete their overs in the allotted time, they've got to continue to bowl out their 50 overs. But then New South Wales only have to bowl the amount of overs. I'll just come back to this. We'll talk about that after the break. New South Wales 4 for 201.
Right now, Hundreds of people at Mercantile Mutual are thinking about your future.
What are you going to do when you grow up?
The sort of insurance and finance you might need.
What kind of car will you have?
And how changing economic conditions might affect your investments and superannuation.
What kind of job do you want?
So, if you're with Mercantile Mutual, your future is in good hands.
There we are, New South Wales, 200 runs, 253 balls, at quite a healthy run rate of 4.7.
Big hit. The man's getting under it. He should be gone. It's a high ball. It's mine's a call, and that's well caught. That was attempted big hit. Trying to hit the ball straight down the ground through long on. Got under it. Shane Lee well under that. Miller's the bowler. Tony Daly, the fieldsman, is it? Down there. Takes the catch. That's a good breakthrough for Tasmania. They're doing well in the final overs. New South Wales 5 for 201.
The biggest prize pack of all time is coming your way from Coca-Cola. Collect and match 3 classic years, and if your years match the one we draw during the Sunday night movie on this station, bring the prize line for your chance to win all this. A Harley, Shelby Cobra replica, Qantas trip to Wall Street, NEC entertainment pack with Galaxy TV subscription, plus a trip to the Atlanta Olympics.
Same time next week.
Always Coca-Cola.
It's got to be this one. No.
Try this one, Dad.
When this family moved house, their existing home loan moved with them.
Oh, that switch.
And because they didn't have to apply for a new loan, they saved time, hassle, and costly fees. It's a new service called Portable Home Loans. Which bank lets you move your loan with your home?
Miller doing the job. Maxwell pushes forward. That was a very good catch. In the outfield, it went very, very high. The new batsman is Scott Thompson. He's got a career average of 8 and a strike rate of 60. He's there because Miller got Lee to hit high and long. It was a very good catch.
Certainly was. He got it way up in the air. A long way up, but just have a look how he moves. There's no panic. He gets himself into very good position, catches the ball right up in front of his eyes. Took it very, very comfortably. An excellent example of how to catch an outfield catch here. Get yourself into position early and keep your eyes on the ball.
That's a scorecard for New South Wales after a wonderful start. Still got a good score on the board, but you're looking at 270 at one stage. It's been a good comeback by Tasmania. Miller and Captain Cox doing a good job in these final overs. Well bowled, good change of pace.
Just going back to that point before about Tasmania struggling to get their overs in. If they don't complete their 50 overs in the allotted time, the umpires take note of when the innings, or when the time is up, how many overs have been bowled. They make Tasmania bowl out their 50 overs, but then New South Wales only have to bowl the number of overs which were completed at the time that the innings should have ceased.
Which is 1:30 local time. Miller getting back to his mark here quickly. They may very well bowl them out. Now 1 o'clock local time, 5 for 202. 7 overs to be bowled. They go very close. It's off the mark. A good over for Miller. It's 5 for 203.
Monday.
We're hot.
The stars of cinema and theatre compete in the second semi of That's Entertainment 2.
We are going to win.
Phone now for your chance to win.
See you in the grand final.
Exciting fun on Sale of the Century, 7 o'clock Monday on 9.
Looking for a really big commercial space? Get a Volkswagen Transporter. It's got the most usable load space in its class. Transporter from 27 to 70 from Volkswagen.
7 overs to be bowled at Bellerive as Ian Chappell and Tony Gregg take up the commentary.
Thank you, Bill. And it's going to be McGinty to continue. Thompson has won Maxwell's 6. 5 for 203 and 7 overs to go. So they get themselves up around 250. In these conditions, we have a very good match on our hands. The Mercantile Mutual Cup hotting up. $130,000 on the signs today, if someone can hit those. And that's most likely to happen towards the back end of an innings when the players start to open their shoulders a bit. So 130,000 if they can get it straight down the ground. There are a couple on each side of the screen at both ends, and then a couple square of the wicket. And it won't be a very popular catch if it's caught right in front of that sign. I know that much. We hit that one very firmly. That'll run away over this fast outfield for 4. Well, that's been a long time coming, that boundary. 29th over, the last 4 was hit. He says it was beautifully hit. Once again, that mid-wicket position is an important one in one-day cricket. So many catches taken there. On that occasion, the ball just clearing mid-wicket. Yes, we've seen some interesting cricket today. We saw Patterson play a good innings. Got this New South Wales to a pretty good start here in Onberger. Onberger then took over the aggressive role. He ended up with 73 off 82 balls. Bevan wouldn't have played his best knock. He was nudging it around all over the place. It's well fielded. Bevan didn't really look himself. He spent a lot of time trying to nudge the ball down through the area between slip and gully. And 28 Roberts was out for a duck. He was run out by Cox, and Lee caught in the deep by Daly. Batsman got themselves all sorts of trouble with that last single, almost colliding. Scott Thompson was the man who crashed the ball. For some reason or other, he decides to run on the onside. Maxwell's watching the ball. It's almost a monumental.
And Thompson McNamara 18 from 15. 256 to win. First ball coming up in the commentary box, Bill Lawrie and Tony Gregg.
Thank you, Richie. It's Holsworth to Courtney, and he gets the thick edge and it races away down to third man for a single. Wayne Holsworth, the right arm fast bowler, going to Nick Courtney and Michael DiVenuto, who's now taking guard from umpire Russell Hogarth, and a good target, Tony, 255.
Yes, well played by the New South Welshmen. That's what they've got to do. It's a big ask for them, but having said that, the wicket is really good. The outfield is really fast, and all it needs is some erratic bowling and just a little bit of good batting, and they could get up there and give the New South Welshmen a run for their money.
Oops. No response at all from Courtney, and rightly so. Michael DiVenuto very keen to get off the mark. Holsworth can be very sharp, struggled this summer. DiVenuto, a very promising top order batsman for Tasmania. Beautiful time of the ball off the back foot. His highest score is 76 off 86. The Adelaide Oval against South Australia.
Yes, and this is a pretty important spell here for Holsworth.
He's had a bit of an up and down time, and well, those are his figures so far in one-day cricket over his career. See that he's taken 30 wickets, played in 25 matches, but he needs to maintain some control here. At the same time, he'll want to generate a bit of pace. He's a fast bowler, and so all fast bowlers don't like to pull back too much. Some direction, that's what he needs.
Yes, I think even in one-day games, Mercantile, Mutual, one-day internationals, if you are a genuinely quick bowler, it's far better to pick up 2 or 3 early wickets by going flat out rather than just trying to bowl line and length and to contain the batsman. There's plenty of lift in that delivery from Holsworth, and Di Venuto sparred at it just outside the line of off stump. 2 slips, a deep gully in, a point, mid off on the offside.
Yes, Phil Emery is the captain of the side. Got a pretty snazzy looking pair of gloves on out there. White with red inners. Captain, and he'll want to make sure he's got everyone in the right place, and he'll be hoping that Holsworth too hits his straps today.
It's a wide call.
Yes, Holdsworth wasn't happy about that. He spun around, I think, more in hope than anything else, that it wouldn't be called wide, but it was right out there and swinging away as well. Just watch his reaction. There it goes, way outside. And Emery starts to clap, I think, also in hope that the umpire wouldn't call wide, but he has to re-bowl it.
He overbowled, no wicket for 3.
Let's take another look at the Australian dream, the family home. As you build equity in it, an opportunity opens for you to create security for your future. How? By sending some of that lazy equity out to work in property investment and saving you thousands of dollars off your personal tax. Call Looker and Associates now on 1-800-677-474 and start building your future today.
Scott Thompson to bowl the second over for New South Wales. Michael Di Venuto. This is a big challenge for Tasmania. 256 to win. But a good pitch, fast outfield. A very good seeing day. It's nice and sunny. Not too warm in the low 20s. Also for Scott Thompson, it's an opportunity to bowl with the new ball, the white one, which should swing about a fraction here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch Scott Thompson. I haven't seen much of him, largely because we've been away watching the test matches, but they say he's quite fast.
Big shout, pitched outside the line of leg stump. Lively, quick arm action.
Yes, it was quick arm action, wasn't it? It looked too as if he's going to swing it into the right-hander. Other way around, should I say. It looks as if he's going to swing it away from the right-hander. Just watch the action here. Quite quick, and then you see the ball swinging into the left-hander there. On the pad, just a half-hearted appeal, but certainly a little bit of swing there for him.
Got away with that one. Nicholas Courtney tried to whip it over square leg. It was pushed down the leg side.
And so he's only played 3 matches. Early days for young Scott Thompson. Yes, Thompson plays for the Bankstown Club, which is the War Brothers Club as well. He would have been exposed to, test players, heard them chatting away, and no doubt he's got his eye on kicking on in this game. It's, as I said, early days for him, but he's quite tidy all-rounder.
It's well hit over the top of cover. Nicholas Courtney's intentions are clear. First ball he slashed through the gully. This time he goes over cover for 4.
Exactly what they need. They need to get off to a flyer here. This is the man who can do it for them. He's clearly going to have a go. That was well pitched up, and it was a perfectly safe shot. Just a few bounces out to the fence. But, just a little bit of a glare there from Scott Thompson as he watched the ball disappearing over the top of extra cover.
He's looking to play shots. I think their plan is, while the field is up, Tasmania to get into the 70s as New South Wales did. It's a great launching pad when chasing a big target, and this guy's prepared to gamble. That's good team cricket. If he misses out, well, that's just bad luck.
Yes, you can't draw these matches. You've got to be up there right from the word go, and there's also no point in putting too much pressure on the bottom order. Got to keep your run rate up there, stay within a comfortable range of getting the title.
5 runs off the over. It's no wicket for 8.
Sunday night at the
This is the Kelly gang, and I'd like to make a deposit.
The incredible untold story of the greatest outlaw of all time, Hugo Weaving and Yahoo Serious as Reckless Kelly. Premieres Sunday 8:30 on Channel 9.
According to NRMA and RACV claim records, in the 2 years since Ford's Smart Lock immobilization system was introduced, there hasn't been one genuine theft of a Falcon fitted with Smart Lock, and that's a fact.
2 overs bowled. New South Wales were no wicket for 5. Nicely played. He looked for 2. It's just wide of third man. Di Venuto not coming back for the second. Seems to be one of the better one-day pitches we've seen this summer. Good bounce for the bowlers, yet very little movement sideways.
No, that's definitely been the case. There's been very little movement off the seam. And the other aspect of this pitch that's good is that the spinners have got the ball to turn. We've not seen much spin, but we saw the ball turning a fair bit during the Tasmanian effort with the ball. And it was going to be interesting to see what Gavin Robinson does out there today.
That's a wide. Missed by the keeper, so they run through, but still be called wide. One of the problems with Wayne Holsworth, when you try to bowl express, which is fair enough, you just lack a little bit of control with the white ball.
Yes, the other thing, Bill, that he should definitely think about is not getting too excited about bowling swingers. I'll never forget when I started playing English county cricket, a few of the old pros telling me in no uncertain terms not to get too adventurous with swing, and rather to bowl some off-cutters to start with, just to get the direction right. One of the problems with outswingers, which is what Holsworth's trying to bowl at the moment, if you don't get them on line, for example, you start them just a little bit wide to the left-hander, just a little bit far outside off stump, they just keep going. And because the umpires are quite severe in limited overs cricket, which is fair enough, of course, things can go wrong. If I was Holsworth, I'd be concentrating on bowling straight first and then start to experiment a little bit later on.
Quite sharp. It's well played. They quickly threw for single. But he's certainly hitting the bat hard, and that's his method. Wayne Holsworth to hit the pitch hard and make the ball fly if possible. Michael Di Venuto, a very promising batsman, been overshadowed, I guess, by Ricky Ponting down here in Tasmania, but there's a touch of class about him as well. That's the assignment for Tasmania.
Yes, they've definitely got to keep that run rate up above 4. Around about 4.5 will be acceptable for a while.
Called him again.
Yes, and Holdsworth kicking up a bit of a fuss out there about it. He's already been called once outside off stump, and it's not going to do him any good whatever. Whinging about it. Umpires tend to be a little bit more aggressive, and that's fair enough. You keep bowling it down that line, then the umpires are going to be quite severe. Just watch Holdsworth here. It's out. He quickly has a little glance over his shoulder, and he's not happy.
Wait.
Perfect day for cricket for this Mercantile Mutual Cup match. Plenty of money on the signs here today, $130,000 if you hit it on the full. $700 for the first catch by a spectator when the six is hit. Conditions are perfect. Plenty of school boys and girls on the ground during the luncheon break. And sunny Bellerive is a great place to be.
Yes, it's lovely actually, and that's one of the favourite spots up there on the hill on the grass. A few picnics being had up there today. Pretty warm by Hobart standards. And the fish pie at lunchtime, absolutely superb, Bill.
Sort of a mornay, wasn't it? With the potato on the top, beautiful. Mashed potato with a salad.
That's the fish here is absolutely superb. There's a lovely restaurant down here on the water's edge, Muir's, which we go to often whenever we can get in. It's always pretty booked out, but they serve magnificent fish.
Wait. Now wicket for 12.
Bella Vista Display Home Centre, Australia's prestige gallery of distinctive homes for the discerning buyer. 18 of Sydney's finest master builders have created 36 architectural masterpieces for you. Real housing value from the low 100,000s up to the low 400,000s. Bella Vista is open 7 days off Windsor Road, Castle Hill. Bella Vista Display Home Centre, homes of distinction ready for you.
No wicket for 12, Tasmania. The sun beating down here at Bellerive. Scott Thompson prepares to bowl from the Church Street end. The gap should go all the way for 4.
Yes, that's well played. It's wide delivery again, and a good horizontal bat shot played here, a good cut shot, and good placement as well. Here we are. It's wide outside off stump, and you can see the bat there horizontal as he whacked it in the meat there and got it away into the gap. A really good shot. No trouble.
Michael Di Veneto will have to be careful from one point of view that the man at almost point or backward point is Neil Maxwell. He rates with Mark Waugh and Stephen Waugh as one of the best catchers in the country, a magnificent gully or short point fieldsman. He'll catch anything within reach. Beautiful pair of hands. A very keen cricketer. I suppose with the fish it'll be Chardonnay tonight.
Not for me, thanks, mate. I'm off it at the moment. You can have the Chardonnay. I'm looking for that Trevella. At Trevella they catch at 4,000. Is it 4,000 or 400 fathoms? I can't remember which one it was. Probably 400, but very deep. I know that much. That's well played as well, right through the gap on the offside. That one running down towards the boundary. That's really lovely timing. Well, if they carry on like this, then they really are going to get the attention of the New South Welshmen. They're not relaxing out there, having got their decent total, because at the moment these two looking very good.
As we said before, he's a class act, Michael Di Veneto. He's a stroke player. He just hit that beautifully. The timing was superb. He didn't hit it too hard. Previously this square cut had a lot of power, and this one's just a beautiful cover drive into the gap for 4. Emery just talking to his bowler there, and that's what they need to do while the field is up. Now he's making a change. One of the slips comes out of second slip and goes to a short cover position. There's the slip and a gully in now for New South Wales. The man coming from slip into that position there at shortish cover. Nicely played into the gap again. That's a superb shot. It beats Maxwell. It'll be cut off, but that's timing was excellent. Get the feeling that this is the perfect one-day pitch.
Yes, it's certainly coming onto the bat nicely, and so far the Tasmanians using it very well too. So we'll just watch this shot, just nice balance, and that again right off the meat of the bat, nicely played. The moment the ball's coming onto the bat nice and fast, both these bowlers quite quick.
Gone for it, it's in the air and it's safe. It's a very good over for Tasmania. 12 runs scored. There's no wicket for 24.
Secure your future the Home Corp way with community residential investment. It's an investment surer than super, safer than shares, at the Manor Estate in Cherrybrook, with its own security, its own sports amenities. Home Corp helps you with finance and property management, and there are tax and rental advantages. So take control of your future, investing the Home Corp way. Phone 008 805 430. That's 008 805 430 now.
Ivanito 15 off 14. Courtney 5 off 10. A fire for Tasmania after 4 overs. No wicket for 24. Wayne Holsworth to continue from the river end. Oh, good shot. This is great stuff. Over the top. That'll go for 4. Just straying onto leg stump. Beautifully timed.
Yes, this is sensational partnership. We saw a very good partnership when New South Wales batted between Onberger and Patterson. They really did play well, but this is turning out to be even better because they're going for it from the word go. They're definitely going to keep their run rate right up there, and you won't see many better shots than this one in the first 5 or 6 overs. Lovely shot. Just whipped it over the top of the infield. No doubt about the fact that that was going to go for 4.
Good running. I don't think it'll be long before Phil Emery introduces Brad McNamara, just from the point of view of a slower pace, the slow medium pacer who swings the ball. I think the pace generated here by Holsworth and Thompson has helped the batsman, hitting through the line, hitting it cleanly. Phil Emery, much underrated cricketer, very good captain. Seems to be calm under pressure. He's making a change now. The batsman going from a second slip into a wideish gully position. Slip and 2 gullies for Divanito.
That one's better. Bang on target. Let's have a look at the run rate. See what that is. I see that's now nudged up to 6.44. They only need to go along at 4.9. Win this match, and they're ahead of that by a long way with all 10 wickets in hand. They haven't done it slogging either. It's been good, sensible batting.
Still a long way to go. 227 is a lot of runs, but while you've got wickets in hand, the confidence builds. Gone over the top again. Beautiful shot. Super stuff. Poorly bowled, but that's the way to go. Never try to hit it down. Went straight over point. That's 4 more.
Yes, this is very erratic bowling. It apparently has been a problem for Holsworth all season. And again, see, this is too short. And whack just over the top. It got exactly what it deserved. But having said that, it takes a bit of doing. This is a short ball. He's got back, cut it over the top, and that's another 4. Into the direction of the Mercantile Mutual sign as well.
Oops, he's on the back foot. This will be close if he hits. Oh, it'll be 5. It's all going for Tasmania here. The crowd roars, another 5. The throw was on. There was a chance of a run out. It doesn't strike the timber and it races away for 5.
Yes, you don't see many of them. But I think he had to have a go here. And had he hit the stumps, I reckon he would have had a run out. And that being the case, of course, you've got to go. Let's see if we can pick up the backing up there. Holsworth is never going to get back in time. He tries, then goes the throw. And really, I suppose that the mid-off fieldsman was to blame. But be that as it may, it's too late now. The ball was thrown very hard, missed the stumps, and it beat everyone. So they get the 1 that they ran, plus the 4 overthrows.
The MCG during the week, Victoria versus Queensland, there was a 5 when the ball hit the the helmet behind the wicketkeeper. And the bottom edge beat the wicketkeeper and hit the helmet. That was 5 as well. Over the top again, may not go all the way. This is great stuff by Courtney and DiVenito here at the Bellerive Oval. Happy with 2 there. That's no wicket for 40.
John Scott runs a restaurant. Always dealing with the public, has to look smart and keep his cool. He wears new King G permanent press pleats.
Congratulations.
New fabric, new colours, new style.
One moment, madam.
Scotchguard stain release, and keeps a knife edge crease. Pretty cool choice. New King G permanent press pleats, when you need to keep you cool.
Now that's a start. That really is a start. 5 overs for 40, and it is going to be McNamara. He'll bowl the cool head and good strong arm, not too quick. He'll get the ball to swing away from the right hander. He also bowls the in-swing as well. McNamara, a very good competitor, but they'll test him. The field's still up.
It's the thing about McNamara is that he'll be consistent. He'll be up there nagging away. He'll slip in the odd Yorker and the slower ball as well, but he won't give them much.
No ball called, and straight up in the air as well. He'll be out caught, but the no ball call was early. Umpire Rod Donaldson called early. DiVenito went after. The crowd roar here. They're loving it at Bellerive. The locals, they're on a high.
Yes, and one has to say that it's not going for New South Wales at all. First ball, he's over the line. Watch the arm, it comes straight up, and there it is. Up goes the ball, and unfortunately, while it's caught, it's not out because it was a no ball. Robinson there coming in from mid-off.
Yes, DiVenito are still going to go after McNamara, and that's what they should do. If it's up, give it a belt while the field's inside the circle. 256, a big target. Tasmania yet to win a Mercantile Mutual Cup match this season. McNamara with all the guile of a good medium pacer. Occasional off-cutter, the outswinger. He traps many a good batsman in front because he bowls stump to stump.
Yes, he does. He gets very close, and he's a busy bowler as well. He's a bit deceptive. He's short, and while he doesn't look very quick, he hits the bat a little harder than batsmen anticipate. 18 matches. He's got 24 wickets in this form of cricket, and that's a pretty good economy rate as well.
Excellent 58. He gets the edge and it's past Maxwell in the gully. Just the single. He's put the brakes on already, McNamara, or I think DiVenito would take up the challenge here.
It'll be interesting to see if he does anything down the other end as well. It may be that he's got to bring Maxwell into the attack. He's a little bit more steady as well, not as quick as Holdsworth. It may well be that he'll take Holdsworth out of the attack and give one of the other bowlers a go.
Well, they spread the field as well. There's just the 2 catches now, the slip and the gully. Point, cover, mid-off on the offside. A very strong offside field and a 3rd man, and 3 on the onside. Mid-on, square leg, and a deep backward square leg. Tempo's changed immediately with the good length and line of McNamara. My mind flashes back to that final, Victoria versus New South Wales, where he knocked over Jones and Lehman in the 1 over with good swinging deliveries. Caught behind an LBW decision, swung that match. Good, honest competitor.
Faced with a nasty dilemma today, having to decide whether to stay down in Hobart tonight or to go back to Melbourne for the match tomorrow. I just reckon that one of the great joys of life is waking up in the morning here, throwing the curtains open and looking down over Constitution Dock.
You have had an easy lifestyle. It's no wicket for 44.
Bargains during Oz Design Furniture's half-yearly clearance. Save $100 on this dining table with 4 upholstered chairs, now only $299. Hurry to Oz Design's half-yearly clearance before they run out.
Bob Jane T-Marts roll out the red carpet for drivers of small cars with steel radials at only $54, including fitting, balancing and valves. Get the red carpet treatment with steel radials for most small cars at only $54. Bob Jane T-Marts, the most trusted name.
No wicket for 44 after 6. It's going to be Wayne Holsworth to continue from the river end to Michael DiVenuto and Courtney, who's on strike. I'm a bit surprised, Tony, you wouldn't want to rush back and get back to that great city, Melbourne. Sporting centre of the Southern Hemisphere. Down the leg side, that's going to be a wide. He lets it go. Umpire Russell Hogarth been a bit lenient.
Yes, well, yeah, it's not an easy decision, but on the subject of the Victoria being the centre of the universe in terms of sport, there's a big cricket match going on up there at the moment.
And the news isn't good in the Sheffield Shield match if you're a Victorian fan. Needing 201 for victory. Queensland in the second innings 1 for 117. Trevor Barsby and Martin Love going great guns there. So you would think that Queensland would pick up the 6 points and shoot right to the top of the Sheffield Shield table. And of course tomorrow, a very important Mercantile Mutual match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground where Queensland need points to try and get into the qualifying final. There's plenty happening at the great Melbourne Cricket Ground this week as far as cricket is concerned.
Well, this could be the year. This could be the year. Creeping up, there they are, Queensland. If they host the final, the Sheffield Shield final, well, they're on 28. They've already got 2 points credited to them there for their first innings win, so they get another 4. It'll take them to 32, and they will be clear. So, a very important match, this one, for Queensland, and the one, as pointed out, tomorrow at the MCG.
Yes, the Mercantile Mutual Cup, much sought after competition. Victoria on top. They play Queensland tomorrow, and a big clash at the Adelaide Oval between Western Australia and South Australia. Queensland there on 5 points. That 1 point for the washout could be very handy if they win tomorrow. Over the top of slip. Third man will cut it off. There's a bit happening here at the Bellerive Oval, and it's all good for Tasmania.
Yes, again, trying to hit through that one.
Big thick edge, over the top she goes. I'll cut off at third man. No wicket for 46.
On 60 Minutes.
This is the most disturbing story I've ever reported. Monstrous accusations, a landmark case. Daughters accusing their own father of unspeakable crimes.
It's absolutely true.
For the first time, both sides of this divided family tell their story.
As far as I'm concerned, I know I haven't done these things.
Who's telling the truth? That's something we all have to decide.
Also Newman and Redford.
Oh my God.
A special anniversary.
I'm just getting going.
Sunday, 60 Minutes.
None for 46 as Greg Ritchie and Richie Beno take up the commentary.
Thanks, Bill. Tasmania getting off to a very good start here in their run chase. It's the run rate there. New South Wales, quite a lower run rate than Tasmania at the same point in the match. This runs again down to third man. Bill Emery got his problems out there at the moment, shifting his field around.
That run rate is just coming back now to just above the New South Wales one. Tasmania got away to a real flyer there in the first 5 overs, 40 runs on the board from 5 overs. It's just a question of pegging them back now. McNamara is one who can do it. That's brilliantly run between the wickets. It's a moment where it looked impossible they could get through for a single there.
Just using the lack of pace off the bat to ensure that they get comfortably through for a single. We're bringing you racing today from Flemington and Randwick. Shortly we'll be crossing to Randwick for race 4.
Good example of the way young cricketers or other cricketers can learn from good ones. Mark Waugh, with all the innovative things he does to do with run-outs, and we've seen 1 or 2 of them this year. Here's one that McNamara has copied. Didn't try to pick the ball up and throw it. Would have taken an extra second, but has just bunted it, and it'd run the batsman out had it hit the stumps. It's the sort of thing you can learn from someone like a player of Mark Waugh's quality. McNamara has done a good job out there. It's none for 49.
This engine has 2 valves per cylinder. It needs a highly resilient oil for long-lasting protection. Castrol GTX2. This engine has 4 valves per cylinder. It's a multi-valve and needs the protection of an easier flowing oil. Castrol GTX3. Both develop the same power, but because engines aren't engines, oils ain't oils. Castrol GTX2 and Castrol GTX3. Liquid engineering for your car.
No wicket for 50, Tasmania, after 8 overs. That's 4. From the time it left the bat, almost 6. That was a beautiful stroke right off his pads. Wayne Holdsworth straying into the pads there.
Beautifully timed. Wonderfully well picked up.
Nicholas Courtney has timed the ball beautifully here this morning, but he won't time them any better than that one. Just the flick of the wrist. Big appeal for LBW. That must have been frightfully close. Wayne Holdsworth can't believe it.
Would have mistake stump. Not by much, but would have just gone past.
We're going to bring you that race from Renwick now. Race 4, the Light Finger Stakes, over 1,200 metres. Your caller is Johnny Tapp.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, it's race 4, named after a great race mare, Light Fingers, winner of the 1965 Melbourne Cup. And in fact, she won, I think she won something like 15 races in all. Remarkable record. She ran second in the Melbourne Cup the following year, 1966, to Galilee, her stablemate. Now, the last couple have moved up and they're all set and ready for dispatch. Voracative stands well. Euphoria has the inside gate. Love of Mary and Like a Rose stand well. The gate's open, they're off and running. Flight to Fantasy missed the kick. Very tardy to begin. Flash Fire and Aragen went straight back towards the tail of the field. And beginning brilliantly, My Flashing Star from a wide gate. Voracative quickly away, followed by Euphoria. Love of Mary getting into a handy spot, and then May to September. Hula Guest is trapped out very deep in the early part, and then Moment's Pleasure. Flight to Fantasy midfield on the fence at the 800 mark, and back with her Danarani between horses. Then Sweet Consort and Like a Rose, followed by Aragen with Flash Fire on the outside last of all. 600 out as they near the turn. My Flashing Star the leader. Voracative second, Euphoria third, then Love of Mary. Three deep as Hula Guest, followed by May to September. And then Moment's Pleasure, Danarani, and Flight to Fantasy near the inside is looking for a run as they come over the rise. My Flashing Star, the leader. Voracative on the outside, running a bit of a race, and then May to September, followed by Hula Guest and Flight to Fantasy. At the 200 mark, Voracative took a narrow lead over My Flashing Star. Flight to Fantasy is still there with a chance. Here she comes on the outside. By gee, she's a class act. Flight to Fantasy has come from an impossible position, and she's racing away and is going to trot in. She won pulling up with the ears pricked over Voracative, with Aragen third, and then Euphoria, May to September, Flash Fire, followed by Danarani, then My Flashing Star, Moment's Pleasure, Sweet Consort, followed by Hula Guest, and the last couple, Love of Mary and Like a Rose. What's the point of the other fillies chasing her through the autumn? Okay, we go back to Greg Ritchie at the cricket.
Thanks very much, Johnny. Flight to Fantasy, too good. The Light Finger Stakes. Tasmania going along very nicely here at Bellerive Oval. Courtney and Divenuto. That's a beautiful straight drive. Not going to quite reach the boundary. The batsmen are going to be content with 3. Looking for 4. This is out if he hits. What a silly piece of running. There's never any danger. Whilst ever they were settling for 3, there seemed to be some hesitation. And unfortunately, Courtney has been run out, going for the 4th.
I know if it's imagination, but I had the feeling it was Divenuto who was urging Courtney to come back for the 4th. At this stage, they were ambling and they'd made their decision to hold it to 3. It's good cricket from McNamara to retrieve the ball, then throw down the stumps, and that's the break New South Wales needed. 1 for 61.
With savings of up to 30%, you'll find a truckload of bargains during Oz Design Furniture's half-yearly clearance. This matching coffee and side table, an amazing $79 for both. Save $100 on this dining table with 4 upholstered chairs, now only $299. These adjustable mobile clothes racks, $29 each. And these fabulous 2-seater leather sofas are only $799 each. Save $200. So hurry to Oz Design's half-yearly clearance before they run out.
It's got to be this one. No.
Try this one, Dad.
When this family moved house, their existing home loan moved with them.
Oh, that switch.
And because they didn't have to apply for a new loan, they saved time, hassle, and costly fees. It's a new service called Portable Home Loans. Which bank lets you move your loan with your home? Australia's leading home loan bank, Commonwealth Bank.
McNamara to continue. Jamie Cox is the new batsman for Tasmania. Very good young player, Jamie Cox. Been around for a few years now. High score of 75 for Tasmania. he's in as a result of a terrible piece of running between the wickets.
Just an amble. Well, that's good cricket from McNamara, but not very good from the two Tasmanians. Going along so well. One of the reasons was they had in a right-hand, left-hand combination, and they decided to go with Nick Courtney up the top there, and he'd been hitting over the top and had done it very, very successfully. Well, they've got themselves away to a good start, but this was so unnecessary.
You'll see it's quite a strong throw from Gavin Robertson, and McNamara's done well. He's not beside the stumps, but he's managed to gather the ball in quickly. He knows he's got the wicket, just throws down the stumps from a short range. Good piece of fielding. And that's a good piece of batting. Jamie Cox takes full advantage of a half volley from Braden. McNamara picks the gap beautifully between mid-off and cover. Takes 4 runs.
Don't normally get one half volley from McNamara in an over, and there have been 2 in this over. Produced 2 excellent drives. That's a lovely stroke. Good player, Jamie Cox. Had a bit of a run of outs a year or so ago, but he's come back well.
That's a good comeback from McNamara. That's a good shot. They'll look for 2 here, should get them comfortably. Quite quick between the wickets, Jamie Cox. It's 10 runs from that over. It produced a wicket. Tasmania 1 for 68.
I'd recommend a 4-wheel drive.
Which Car? The monthly new and used car magazine. 2nd issue out now.
Well, after 10 overs, Tasmania 1 for 68 with Michael Divinito taking the attack up to the New South Welshman. He's 33 from just 28 balls faced. He's done a very, very good job for Tasmania to get them off to a good start. There's a change of bowling about to occur from the river end. It's going to be Neil Maxwell brought into the attack. Bowling figures for New South Wales there to date. Wayne Holdsworth once again a little expensive, just 5 overs for no wicket for 32. Straight out.
Well, and if anything more low-key than that, extreme disappointment from the batsman. Can't believe he did it. He has hit a long hop right off the meat of the bat with the most elegant stroke imaginable. He has hit it straight down the throat of the man at cover point. So there's 2 out now, and that is crucial for Tasmania. 2 for 68, and suddenly they've slumped, having turned in such a good performance in the first 10 overs.
In tonight's edition of National 9 News,
a yachtsman's lucky survival after falling overboard, captured one of the world's most notorious computer hackers, and peddling across the Atlantic.
National 9 News with Gina Boom tonight.
With savings of up to 30%, you'll find a truckload of bargains during Oz Design Furniture's half-yearly clearance. These fabulous 2-seater leather sofas are only $799 each. Save $200. Hurry to Oz Design's half-yearly clearance before they run out.
I'd recommend a 4-wheel drive.
Which Car? The monthly new and used car magazine. Second issue out now.
John Young is the new batsman for Tasmania. He's about to face Neil Maxwell, who has some pretty good figures at the moment. He has 1 ball, 1 wicket, or no runs. And almost 2 for none. And now this is an extraordinary piece of batting. We'll see here, it's almost as if he was giving the Tasmanians some catching practice. He certainly couldn't believe it, and the New South Welshman couldn't believe it either.
Beautifully guided and wonderfully elegant stroke, but useless. Maxwell is in the game with a reputation as a partnership breaker. Good, solid, hard-hitting batsman, brilliant fielder, and a medium pacer who makes things happen, as he did there.
As he varies his pace very well, Neil Maxwell, and although I don't think we'll get the opportunity to see it today, he's got a good bouncer. There's the results of race 4 from Randwick. New South Wales dividends, number 10, Flight to Fantasy, paying $2.50 for the win and $1.40 for the place. Flashed over the vacant slip area again.
Powerful action. Now Maxwell, it's all shoulder, really puts everything into the last yard, charges up. He'll have the chance of bowling at Jeremy Cox.
Completes Neil Maxwell's first over. An excellent one it was. One wicket for just 1 run. It's 2 for 69.
Secure your future the Home Corp way with Community Residential Investment. It's an investment surer than super, safer than shares, at the Manor Estate in Cherrybrook, with its own security, its own sports amenities. Home Corp helps you with finance and property management, and there are tax and rental advantages. So take control of your future, investing the Home Corp way. Phone 008 805 430. That's 008 805 430 now.
11 overs gone here at Bellerive. Tasmania 2 for 69. Still well ahead of New South Wales at the same stage. They have 2 batsmen in at the moment. Only face 4 and 5 balls respectively.
Lovely shot straight down the ground again. Not going to quite reach the boundary. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to contemplate 4 this time. They don't. A lot better running. Good chasing from the New South Wales fielders. Always a good lesson to chase the ball as hard as you can to the boundary. Don't give up on it. Always the chance of maybe affecting a run out.
It's 3 times McNamara has been driven in 2 overs. Unusual. Normally he's in on that length, where the batsman has to make a split-second decision on whether to play forward or back. Not much driving done against him in these limited overs games.
Just the 1 run. Third man. At Adelaide Oval, the final day of the Sheffield Shield match there. Western Australia 2 for 203, chasing 407 to win that game, so pretty evenly poised. Mark Lavender, 82 not out. Damien Martin, 71 not out. They'll hold the key for Western Australia if they're to win that game. A very evenly poised match.
It's a big task to make 407 to win, but they've got quite a decent sort of batting lineup. It's the sort of thing New South Wales can do without. Lightly nasty bounce, but Fielder wasn't completely behind it.
There's been some odd bounces out in that particular part of the ground today, but really that's just a case of Gavin Robertson mistiming the bounce of the ball. Single to Holdsworth, a third man. 7 runs from that over. It's 2 for 76.
Tuesday, an all-new year of laughs begins on Australia's funniest home videos. Genevieve Taylor returns with a lively showcase of never-before-seen video mishaps, followed by a word from our sponsor with Stephen Jacobs, Tuesday from 7:30 on 9.
Sizzler's serving up everyone's favourite feast. Steak and all-you-can-eat shrimp. Steak just the way you want it. And shrimp, shrimp, and more shrimp. Steak and all-you-can-eat shrimp.
Something good.
It's a beautiful day down here in Tasmania. Lovely day for cricket, for sailing. Just about anything, in fact. Temperature around about the mid-20s. Slight breeze blowing from off the water. Very comfortable conditions. Sailboat there just moving pretty slowly in probably about 10 to 15 knot winds.
Very impressive. But, the spinnakers out. Little motorboats and motor skis out there as well. It's all very nice.
Just 1 run down to third man. Neil Maxwell just straying a little wide of off stump.
To contrast with whether we had in the earlier part of the season down here. The Australian 11 game, it was tough for all the players. Oh, it just seemed as though it might have been an inside edge. Just sounded as though there were 2 noises there.
Let's have a look at this closely. I think that may have been the only thing that could have saved him. He was pretty well adjacent. Richie mentioned perhaps just the slightest of inside edges. Neil Maxwell was very confident. No, that's great fielding. Throwing themselves around the New South Welshmen, they realise they need to slow the run rate down. The end of the over, it's 2 for 78. We'll now bring you race 5 from Flemington. It's the Cadbury Australian Guineas, run over 1,600 metres, and your caller, John Russell.
3 runs under his belt, and a very good second behind the champion Jearn in the CF4 Stakes at Weight for Age last week, following a win at Caulfield. So he's a very fit galloper, winner of the Blue Diamond last year. And Barishnikov, of course, having his second run from a spell, chased and covered home last Saturday. And will be much improved with that run, winner of the Sandown Guineas back last spring. And Del Sale, of course, a more than useful galloper. And Don Pasquale hails from the west with a big reputation, having started 9 times. Right, they're moving up. And Don Pasquale, as I was going to mention, 9 starts for 6 wins, 2 seconds and 1/3 as they get set for the Cadbury Australian Guineas. Race 5 on the program, Dry Humour on the inside. Don Pasquale's gone up. Dennis Singer coming in for Mick Dittman. Mick coming up for the hat-trick of wins, having won earlier on Strike High. And got Laura's Express home to a very narrow win over Ladies Way in the previous race. Hurricane Skies moved in. Barishnikov coming up, waiting for Blevik, and also St. Covert and Del Sale, who's drawn the extreme outside. The race over 1,600 metres. Big racing here again tomorrow with the Lightning Stakes, the champion Hariba engaged. Now Blevik to move in. St. Covert about to come up. Dry Humour standing in well. They'll soon be set for the 1995 Cadbury Australian Guineas. St. Covert moving in. Del Sale to join the line. Del Sale moves in, line is complete. They're set, ready for a start. Stand by. Ready. Off and running in the Guineas. Dry Humour first to leave. In advance there of Don Pasquale, who batted out quickly, and so did Hurricane Sky, beginning well. St. Covert over on the outsider. Dropping in behind them, Dennis Singer, and they were followed by Del Sale, a length and a half, Barishnikova, and Blevik has dropped out to last. Along the side, 1,300 metres left to go. Hard to pick a leader. We're going fast to hit them off now as St. Covert by a length and a half. Hurricane Sky on the outside of Dry Humour. Dropping in behind them, Don Pasquale, a length and a half, Dennis Singer, and they were closely followed by Del Sale, a length and a half, Barishnikov, who's second last, and Blevik is last of all. Coming down the side, just over 1,000 to go on the Guineas, and it's St. Covert by a length and a half. Hurricane Sky second, half a length away. Dry Humour close in behind them. Don Pasquale, a length and a half. Del Sale on the outside of Dennis Singer, followed by Barishnikov, and Blevik is still last of all. At the 800 metre mark, and St. Covert travelling well in the lead by a length and a half. Hurricane Sky in close touch, 2 lengths further back, then over on the inside. Dry Humour, Don Pasquale moving around the outsider. Del Sale is next, followed by Dennis Singer, Blevik, and Barishnikov is last of all as they come around the home turn. 500 metres left to go. Hurricane Sky moving up on the outside to tackle St. Covert, is still the leader as they set sail for Homer. And they're clear from Don Pasquale coming down the outside. Dry Humour back behind the Barishnikova, and then Dennis Singer and Blevik's a long way back as they come to the 250. Hurricane Sky is joining St. Covert as they come down past the 200. Hurricane Sky and Don Pasquale is down the outside, and Barishnikov is finishing very fast along the inside. St. Covert tackled by Hurricane Sky, and Barishnikov on the inside finishing solidly. Barishnikov on the inside takes a slight lead. Barishnikov has won the Guineas from Hurricane Sky, ahead away third St. Covert. Fourth home Don Pasquale, followed by Dennis Singer, back behind them Dry Humour, Del Sale, and the last home is Blevik.
Barishnikov too good there. Back here at Bellerive, Tasmania, chasing a New South Wales total, making a good fist of it.
The Tasmanian card, 2 for 78. The men out, Courtney run out for 22, a ridiculous run out. And DiVenuto caught by McNamara off Maxwell for 33. 33 from 29 balls. So it was a good opening stand. Then they were both out in quite strange fashion. Got away to an absolute flyer with those two batsmen, Nick Courtney and Michael DiVenuto. They put on 61 from just 56 balls faced. 22 and 29 for Courtney and 33 and 29 for DiVenuto, and they still need 178. And rate required now is fractionally below 5.
So sensible batting, really the order of the day. Got wickets in hand is going to be the key for the Tasmanians. No more of those silly run-outs. A run rate of around about 5 and over. They can do that comfortably, provided they do have wickets in hand. See, they're just being brought back to the field a little now. The New South Welshmen slowing them down.
Been a performance full of character by New South Wales, aided by those 2 dismissals, manner of them, but the Tasmanians got away so fast that they've done well to pull them back so that the run rates are just about equal now. That ball called by the umpire at square leg. Now, must have climbed very, very quickly.
Mentioned before that Neil Maxwell possesses a good bouncer. I'm not too sure whether this was one of them. In fact, when it goes past the batsman, I don't think that was any more than about chest high. That's a pretty tough call.
Certainly nothing to do with the bowler. He wouldn't have got the ball to fly like that his own accord. But what it's done is add about 3 yards onto Maxwell's pace. I think he's particularly pleased. Their former administrator with the Victorian Cricket Association, brought up under Bill Laurie's guidance.
It's no wonder there's a bit of nastiness about him then, eh? Another maiden. Tasmania 2 for 80.
It's big. It's very big.
A big 6 months interest-free at Retrovision, the biggest retailer of electrical appliances. Big savings on this 500-litre frost-free fridge freezer.
No deposit, nothing to pay for 6 months.
A big deal on this Fisher & Paykel 5-kilo washer.
No deposit, nothing to pay for 6 months.
This 250-litre Cyclic fridge.
You guessed it.
And we'll deliver and take away your old appliance only at
Retrovision, the biggest retailer of electrical appliances.
2 for 80 Tasmania, none for 71 New South Wales. New South Wales have pegged them back to that extent. They were a good 30 runs ahead of the comparative scores after 6 overs. Now it's only 9. 8 for Cox and 8 for Young. McNamara. And Jamie Cox, the batsman.
All of a sudden, the singles have started to dry up for the Tasmanians. Earlier on, opening batsmen were working the ball around. They were picking up the singles, and as a result, it generally brings some loose deliveries from the bowlers by putting them under pressure. Right now, the singles have dried up. The New South Welshmen just getting on top.
Now, our Lego expert has got himself organised, and that's the way it looks at the moment, Tasmania and New South Wales. Yeah, Tasmanians away in those first 5 overs, a brilliant performance. And then New South Wales have pegged them back.
It's been 16 deliveries without a scoring shot. Just gives you an indication how they're tightening things up.
That's the one that's unusual from McNamara today. That's 4 times he's had the ball up to be driven. He's not tried to swing it. Doesn't seem to try to swing it, although he is a swing bowler. In Sheffield Shield matches, he moves the ball around quite a bit. Here, looks as though he holds it across the seam, just bowls seamers. But he has had 4 balls up there to drive. Got away with that, and the fellow who'll be cranky about that will be Wayne Holdsworth, who was caught for a few early on. That may not have been anywhere near as blatant as that.
He's been very fortunate to get away with that one. Generally, umpires will look upon that as being a wide delivery.
Good idea of what the bowlers try to do in situations like that. They try to make certain that the umpire has the feeling the ball may have touched the pad.
Is the slightest appeal or signalled with the finger to give the umpire the indication that it wasn't all that wide. Baryshnikov, winner at Flemington in race 5, paid $6.90 for the win and $1.90 for the place. Just the one run coming from that over. Tasmania 2 for 81.
It's got to be this one. No.
Try this one, Dad.
When this family moved house, their existing home loan moved with them.
Oh, that switch.
And because they didn't have to apply for a new loan, they saved time, hassle, and costly fees. It's a new service called Portable Home Loans. Which bank lets you move your loan with your home? Australia's leading home loan bank, Commonwealth Bank.
Tasmania 2 for 81 after 16 overs. Change in the commentary position. It's going to be Tony Gregg, and with him Ian Chappell.
Thanks, Greg. The wind has come up just a little bit. I guess the sailors will be delighted about that. But it is a very, very pleasant day in Hobart. And we've had some pretty good batting. New South Wales started extremely well, as did Tasmania. Little inside edge there onto the pad. Neil Maxwell, sort of cricketer that puts a lot of energy into his game and seems to make things happen.
Yes, he hasn't bowled too badly, getting the ball to nip back a little bit, and on that occasion the inside edge onto the pad. A very, very confident appeal last over for LBW. And that must have been very close.
An aborted appeal there from both bowler and keeper.
Yes, which would suggest that there was a little inside edge on this one. He's certainly getting it to angle in, and it's hurting him a little bit. Every time the batsman has a little spot of luck, Maxwell's head goes back. He's desperately keen to get a breakthrough here.
Yes, you're never in any doubt about Neil Maxwell's feelings on the cricket ground. Really shows plenty of emotion. One of those team members you always know that he's putting in 100%. Single, and that's been about all they've been able to pick up in recent overs. Been struggling to get singles even there for a while. The bowling has been very tidy. "19 balls without a scoring shot there at one stage." Well run, and last boundary was in the 10th over.
Yes, this will give you an idea of how things have slowed up. They've come right back to the field after those 2 wickets fell, and now they've just nudged underneath the New South Wales position at the equivalent time.
Oh, that's nicely hit. So that should break the drought of boundaries, although it is slowing up. Cox is looking for 4, all run. That's a good shot.
Yes, that beautifully played straight down the ground. 2 for 88.
It's big. It's very big.
A big 6 months interest-free at Retrovision, the biggest retailer of electrical appliances. Big savings on this stereo remote TV with bonus speakers.
No deposit, nothing to pay for 6 months.
A big deal on this 34-centimetre remote TV. This powerful Vax 2000 carpet cleaner and shampooer.
At the Church Street end, it's the off-spinner, Gavin Robertson, coming into the attack for the first time. So relieved Brad McNamara, 6 overs for McNamara, 26 runs coming from those 6 overs. Holdsworth was the really expensive one, although Scott Thompson wasn't much better. That's well fielded. And he's come back with the left-hander, Robbo. Ambidextrous.
Yes, he picked this up and let it go straight away. Have a look at this. It'll be interesting to see how much he spins it during the spell, but he picks it up on the left-hand side and has a go left-handed. Yes, it's going to be interesting to see if he turns it much. Hatton, the left-arm orthodox spinner for Tasmania, actually did get the ball to spin quite a lot. Also an orthodox spinner. And so any difference here is that Robertson uses his right arm. Interesting to see how he goes.
Nice use of the feet there by Jamie Cox. Robertson now coming around the wicket to the left-hander. Sean Young on strike. Taken an age to get the side screen in place. Umpire standing right up to the stumps, right over the top. Some bowlers like to come behind the umpire coming from around the wicket. Others prefer the umpire to stand back from the stumps, and they come between the umpire and the stumps. Good start from Gavin Robertson. It's 2 for 89.
Secure your future the Home Corp way with community residential investment. It's an investment surer than super, safer than shares, at the Manor Estate in Cherrybrook, with its own security, its own sports amenities. Home Corp helps you with finance and property management, and there are tax and rental advantages. So take control of your future, investing the Home Corp way. Phone 008 805 430. That's 008 805 430 now.
After 18 overs, Tasmania 2 for 89. Cox on 12, Young 13. Got away to a good start, then lost a couple of quick wickets. That has slowed their progress. It's nicely timed. And the Sheffield Shield competition, a couple of interesting games in their final day. Firstly at the Adelaide Oval, South Australia declared at the overnight score of 6 for 342. Terrific 100 there to Ben Johnson in the second innings, 168. And in reply, Western Australia 4 for 250. Mark Lavender and Damien Martin just out a while ago for 90 and 89 respectively. So that's changed the equation a little bit. Nicely timed. And with the dive, they should get 4, one way or the other. Ball's going to pull up inside the fence. They get an easy 4 all run. Yes, Western Australia seem to be racing to victory there at one stage. Damien Martin obviously in very good form, but he's now out, as is Mark Lavender. Moody is on 20. Brad Hogg yet to score. Western Australia chasing 407 for victory. And also interesting at the MCG, where it's Victoria versus Queensland. Queensland chasing 201 for victory, and they've lost 3 quick wickets. It's now 4 for 139. Barsby out for 51, Martin Love 63, and Stuart Law naught. 3 quick wickets there to the off spinner Brian Doyle. Alan Border is 13 not out, batting with a chip bone in his elbow. Jimmy Marr is on 4. Queensland with a bit of a tail in that side. Could be interesting yet at the MCG.
Yes, Border looks like he's the key. He's in there at the moment, and while he may have a chipped elbow or a problem with his elbow, he's obviously been around for a long time to know how important a victory in this match is for Queensland. So he'll be giving it his all.
Well, pretty well, Neil Maxwell coming around the wicket now to the left-hander, just getting a little bit of movement off the seam.
Yes, not a greatest of shots either. He's quite wide on the crease here, and the ball is angling in. The left-hander seems to be sort of jumping away a little bit there. That beat the outside edge despite the fact that the ball's angling in at him.
That's a lovely shot. Slightly short of boundary in that area, and he's reached it.
It's interesting, it's hit one, miss one at the moment. It was a beautiful cover drive, having played and missed at the ball before. He's followed up with this one. That was beautifully played, lovely timing. Got that into the gap, and no trouble on this fast outfield.
Bill Emery is now pushing Wayne Holdsworth back almost to the boundary. That long off. No ball called there by umpire Russell Hogarth.
And Maxwell too looks as if he's going straight down the pitch from around the wicket. So not a happy man. As it turns out, had he nicked this one, it wouldn't have been out anyhow. But watch his follow through here, right down the middle of the pitch. Up went the umpire's arm for no ball then anyhow. He's going to have to be just a little bit careful.
Good over for Tasmania. 12 runs off. It's 2 for 101.
This year, Mitsubishi will sell its 1 millionth vehicle in Australia. So, we're having a celebration sale with unbeatable factory bonuses, like free factory air conditioning on limited edition 4-cylinder Magna Profile, and great bonuses on Magna V6 sedan and wagon, or celebration bonuses on Lancer Coupe, wagon, hatch and sedan. No matter how you slice it, getting a great celebration deal on any new Mitsubishi from your participating dealer is a piece of cake!
Been a pretty good pitch here at Bellerive, provided some good entertainment for the crowd here. It looks like we might have quite an interesting finish. New South Wales 7 for 255 off their 50 overs. Well, we're giving scores of matches. The international match being played in New Zealand. That's India versus South Africa. Neither side have won a match so far in that competition. South Africa made 223 from their 50 overs. We're told that India need 33 off 18 deliveries with 4 wickets in hand. It's well bowled, getting that Yorker right up there in the block hole.
There's Robinson back over the wicket now, and they're pushing a man out to deep mid-wicket. But 3 men back on that side, so he's going to bowl, pitching the ball quite straight.
Uses his feet nicely, Jamie Cox. That's a good piece of fielding.
Yes, watch the footwork here. Cox quite fleet-footed. So, skip down there and getting to the pitch of the ball, no trouble at all. Good way to keep the scoreboard ticking over, way out of his ground there.
Certainly earns his money in a situation like this. The sightboard attendant, with Robertson bowling over the wicket to the right-hander, round to the left. Two for 104.
Monday on the current affair.
You pay how much? $7.50.
Caught red-handed.
When you walk out on the street, it's worth $80.
Lethal drug deals in broad daylight on Australian streets.
Picked him up and laid him on the floor, and that was that.
The scandal of a government program actually supplying dealers.
He's holding that methadone after 2 very brief visits.
To do a roaring trade right on the drug clinic's doorstep.
And as much as they want to buy.
Plus the amazing story of a jungle boy who grew up with the apes.
Do you think you learned anything?
I learned how to climb trees, maybe.
Next week on a current affair.
After 20 overs, Tasmania have kept that rate just over 5. It's nicely hit. Got a chase for the off-spinner, Gavin Robertson. That's well run.
We certainly have seen some lovely shots played by these Tasmanian batsmen, in between some pretty ordinary running and 1 or 2 ordinary shots, but there's been some lovely shot making. We saw an opening partnership which was as good as we've seen for a while. Some magnificent shots played. In fact, both sides had good opening partnerships today. Jordan Young has had a pretty good time, but he's got to start in most of these matches.
They've picked things up nicely in the chase again, Tasmania, after a bit of a lull there, losing their 2 wickets. That's what they're chasing, 7 for 255. Top score was Jason Arnberger, 73, run out. And Mark Patterson, 62. They got New South Wales away to a great start. That was the Tasmanian bowling. Josh Marquette, quite a lively fast bowler. Took 1 for 46. Colin Miller, 3 for 48. Mark Hatton, the spinner, doing quite a good job early. Took a bit of stick later on, 1 for 46 from 6.
A magnificent pitch here, which is just exactly what the doctor orders for one-day games. Very little grass on it, and it's Got a bit of bounce in it. The ball's coming onto the bat and a bit of spin as well.
That's good response from Sean Young. Just a glance between the batsmen. No call. Good understanding.
Let's just watch this. He just drops it down. Maxwell follows through here. He tries to put a little flick in there to see if he can kick it to the stumps, but he didn't do too badly, but very nearly lost his footing. You watch him go here. Screams down the pitch and very nearly goes over.
It's 2 for 110.
Right now, hundreds of people at Mercantile Mutual are thinking about your future.
What are you going to do when you grow up?
The sort of insurance and finance you might need.
What kind of car will you have?
And how changing economic conditions might affect your investments and superannuation.
What kind of job do you want?
So, if you're with Mercantile Mutual, your future is in good hands.
After 21 overs, Tasmania 2 for 110. Evan Robertson is continuing from the Church Street end. And in the commentary position, Greg Ritchie and Bill Laurie.
Thank you, Ian Chappell. It's a good battle here at Bellerive Oval. Target 256 for Tasmania. Good solid partnership between Cox and Young here at 2 for 110. Jamie Cox having a very good year in all types of cricket. Good consistent batsman. Evan Robertson with his off-spin will extract some turn. We saw earlier today Mark Hatton get 1 or 2 to spin the left arm orthodox spinner. Well fielded.
Managing to put the brakes on a little bit now, New South Wales. Gavin Robertson doing a good job with the ball.
It's cover, knocks it away. They'll probably pick up 2. Yes, this is a good battle here at Bellerive. It's a big target, 256 for victory. They got away to a very good start. Run rate required is 5. They're on target at 5.16. They've got 8 wickets in hand. Still 144 runs required, which is a good ask in a one-day game with 8 wickets in hand. Gone. Simple juggling catch there by Robertson. He almost made a meal of it. Cox using his feet. Got there okay, but couldn't keep it on the carpet. At the end, Gavin Robertson fumbling and juggling away, picked up a vital wicket.
You know, Jamie Cox this time not getting over. Have a look at this. About 4 or 5 grabs, but finally he gets it. And that is a good breakthrough for New South Wales. Jamie Cox out for 18. Tasmania 3 for 112.
Head lice are a fact of school life. Quilada head lice treatment is a quick, easy way to kill them. Simply apply to dry hair, wait 10 minutes, then wash it out.
Quilada kills head lice quick and easy.
As easy as
1, 2, 3.
Keep collecting your classic years. Keep watching the Always a Classic segment during the Sunday night movie, and you can keep winning all this.
Always a classic, always Coca-Cola.
This engine has 2 valves per cylinder. It needs a highly resilient oil for long-lasting protection. Castrol GTX2. This engine has 4 valves per cylinder. It's a multi-valve and needs the protection of an easier flowing oil. Castrol GTX3. Both develop the same power, but because engines aren't engines, oils ain't oils. Castrol GTX2 and Castrol GTX3. Liquid engineering for your car.
Captain Rodney Tucker, 30 years of age, 27 matches. Good strike rate, but a low average for a batsman of his class, 19. Is there because Robertson's deceived Jamie Cox, I think, in flight, not quite getting to the pitch of the ball. The return catch, which was pretty straightforward, he made a meal of it, but in the end grabbed it. That's all you have to do. The off spinner getting a little bit of flight, hitting for the crease, and there she goes. 1, 2, 3. On your way. Robertson going around the wicket for the left-handed Tucker, so two left-handers at the crease, Young and Tucker for Tasmania. Suit Robertson to get the ball to spin away. Good over for New South Wales. 3 for 112. Target is 256. Batsman out, Courtney, foolish run out really for 22. Divinetto 33 off 29. Cox 18 off 40. Young, as always, very consistent, 28 off 36, and Tucker just the one delivery so far. Maxwell and Robertson, the wicket takers. And it's going to be a change at the river end. Medium pacer Shane Lee coming into the attack. They started badly, New South Wales, with the ball. Holdsworth quite expensive, as was Thompson. McNamara is always steady. And Maxwell probably the farthest of the bowlers. 1 for 30, showed a lot of emotion here this afternoon. And Robertson, a good tidy spell of 3 overs, 1 for 6.
Shane Lee now has the job to do. Bowlers prior to him coming to the attack have kept things tight. And Phil Emery will be looking for him to do exactly that and keep it tight now. The more pressure the New South Welshmen can apply in terms of slowing the run rate down is certainly going to help them to take some wickets in this middle order. And then once they can do that, the pressure starts to mount up. They've got a good total on the board. 5 runs required and over for the Tasmanians, so it's still very evenly poised.
That's off with the slow ball. He's chipped away. Earlier today, New South Wales, they won the toss. Nice, bright, sunny morning. They elected to bat, and they were 7 for 255. Wonderful opening partnership between Arnberger and Patterson. Set it up and put on 106 for the first wicket. They were really the stars for New South Wales. Some good hitting in the end by Thompson, McNamara and Maxwell. 50 overs, 7 for 255. Nicely struck into the gap, down to deep point for a single. One of the best days you'd ever see here in Bellerive. Nice and warm, mid-20s. A little bit of cloud cover developing this afternoon, but all in all, the perfect day for cricket. I think the batsmen have responded. I think it's been a good batting display so far by both sides.
It certainly has, Bill, and they've had very good conditions in which to bat. This is a very good wicket down here in Bellerive. It's got a little bit of pace about it, a little bit of bounce. The ball's coming onto the bat. That, therefore, is allowing the batsmen to play their strokes. And that there is an example.
Sean Young, I said earlier today when he was bowling, one of the best all-rounders playing on Australian cricket, first-class level. Not a fashionable cricketer. Right arm, medium pace bowl, left-handed batsman. Great competitor. He's in the Neil Maxwell mould. You look there, he's very, very consistent with the bat. Bowls well. Only really failed once this season at this level. So set away down to third man, just a single. That's Captain Tucker. So the two left-handers will give the New South Wales bowlers at least a chance to get a line going rather than the left and right-handed combination.
Yeah, really, the Tasmanians now just need to start to knock the ball around, keep the singles going. They fell into the trap in the middle part of their innings. Particularly when Cox was at the wicket, they just failed to take the singles.
Yes, Jamie Cox is having a very good summer, but he did get bogged down. Did some very good bowling by Maxwell, McNamara. They were tidy. This man on strike, he's hard to tie down. Sean Young, he's unorthodox. He'll clip you over the top. Very strong bottom hand player. Plays and misses. 3 for 116.
Business is the engine of society. Without it, there would be no jobs, no products, no competition, no advancements. Business is the engine of society. See how far it takes you. See how far it takes us all. This is the software that moves you forward.
Beautiful afternoon after 23 overs. Tasmania 3 for 116. The big difference there being the 2 extra wickets lost by Tasmania. Leading edge, but he picks up a single. Interesting bowler, Gavin Robertson. He seemed to lose form halfway through the year in the Benson Hedges World Series matches, but here today he seems to have a nice rhythm going and a bit of a loop. Good tidy figures.
As we saw earlier this morning, Mark Hatton turned the ball, the spinner from Tasmania, turned the ball quite a bit. So it's quite a good wicket to bowl spin on. There's a little bit of turn in it. Robertson now the opportunity to get the ball to turn away from the left-handers.
Very well bowled and well played. Nice fight. Young not tempted to go down the track, but Robertson just trying to find the rough there outside the line of the off stump. Stump vision will show a little bit of rough there, and it pitches and turns nicely. Pretty well played. Ideal conditions here for the players and the spectators. The light breeze from the south. Very pleasant day for cricket. It's 3 for 118.
A brilliant idea never starts out brilliant. It starts out ridiculed because it's different and people haven't seen anything like it. Be unreasonable. Insist that it can be done. Show them how. This is the software that helps you show them.
Good contest almost at the halfway stage. Tasmania 3 for 118. Shane Lee to continue. He's whipped it away. Found a long leg for a single. Sports update, New Zealand. One-day match between South Africa and India. South Africa have won. 50 overs, India 9 for 209. Henry one-day series. So points at last to South Africa. India have lost 2 games now, 9 for 209. Tendulkar 37. Anzi Cronje 2 for 34, and Donald making a comeback after injury this tour, 2 for 43. Of course, tomorrow night it's host nation New Zealand playing Australia. Highlights tomorrow evening. Check your local guides. That's from Eden Park in Auckland. That's flat, slow track you saw in the World Cup. New Zealand versus Australia. That should be a very good match. Wide, that will be called. Lee just pushing it across the left-hander too far. One of the promising all-round cricketers, Shane Lee. It's early days yet, but he's got enormous potential. Bowls very close to the stumps there and just opened himself up and pushed it wide, but he's a likely type. Had him in his stable, he'd put him away for a while, and a couple of years would be a very good value. Great competition, the Mercantile Mutual Cup, for these younger players like Lee. Show their skills, and of course, if you're lucky enough, hit that sign today, that's worth $130,000. Not a big hit here, square of the wicket, and about 75 metres. That's hit down the ground. That won't make the signs, but it's well struck. Holsworth, the fieldsman, they should pick up 3. And if they hit a 6, one of the young boys or girls gets under it, you can really lift the piggy bank, because it's worth $700 if you take a catch that goes over the fence today. That's the first one. So far, there hasn't been a 6 in this match. Great sponsorship by the Mercantile Mutual Company for cricket in Australia. Much appreciated by the players and spectators alike. Just another single.
Struggling a little bit at the moment, Shane Lee. Giving plenty of width to both of the Tasmanian batsmen. As a result, they're scoring quite freely from him. He does get very close to the stump when he bowls, which is a good sign. It's just at the moment he might be a little bit nervous, a big occasion for him. As a result, straying in line.
Whipped it away. There's a man out there at square leg. It's on the bounce. Going at a run per ball from Lee. It's 3 for 126.
Secure your future the Home Corp way with Community Residential Investment. It's an investment surer than super, safer than shares, at the Manor Estate in Cherrybrook, with its own security, its own sports amenities. Home Corp helps you with finance and property management, and there are tax and rental advantages. So take control of your future, investing the Home Corp way. Phone 008 805 430. That's 008 805 430 now.
Top match, 25 overs, just 1 run between the teams. Young set on 36. Tucker only faced 8 deliveries for 5. Robertson to continue. Just a reminder to our race fans, we'll be shortly timed across for race 6 at Randwick, the Expressway Stakes over 1,200 metres. Through the wide world of sports. Well fielded.
One gets the feeling that Sean Young is the key to a Tasmanian victory here. He's got himself set now, just looking for a single down there to backward point.
It's straight and quite time it. And well fielded by Maxwell, just a single fine cricket in the outfield. Brilliant fieldsman, Neil Maxwell, enthusiastic, strong. A great judgment and fielding close to the wicket. This is magnificent stuff. And a very good solid throw back to the bowler. Captain Tucker doesn't need to do anything silly here, just punch the ball into the gaps for singles and twos. Heading across the line. Three for 127. It's now time to go to Randwick for race 6, the Expressway Stakes. Our caller is John Tapp.
Thank you, Bill. Moss Rocket is the last one to move into line for the Group 2 Expressway Stakes. And the starter is now moving over to his rostrum to release the field. They look good, lights flashing on top, and they stand. Starter has a good look down the line. Set for the Expressway. Couple of attendants going in to give some assistance, but they're off now. And Moss Rocket on the outside and Navy Seal away very quickly. Fast into stride is Pharaoh, and Identikit is sizzling through towards the lead, followed by Big Dreams. Deposition midfield when they get going on the outside of Flitter. A gap then to Umpala, followed by Upwards and Nasser Rich, and dropping out last is Golden Sword. Over the crossing, Identikit the leader, but Moss Rocket up much closer today, running second. In third place, Big Dreams on the inside of Navy Seal. A length and a half to Pharaoh on the outside of Flitter, followed by Deposition, Nasser Rich, and then Umpala, Golden Sword. And Upwards last at the 600 mark as they near the turn. Moss Rocket on the outside and Identikit are the two leaders coming around the corner. Big Dreams has had a cosy run. He's about to ease out, followed by Navy Seal, and then Flitter on the fence, and Pharaoh is next with Deposition hard ridden as they turn the corner. Over the rise, Moss Rocket is just the leader from Identikit. Pharaoh on the outside running a big race, followed by Navy Seal, and then Deposition. At the 200, Moss Rocket the leader. Pharaoh in second place, trying hard to pick him up, but Moss Rocket's a length in front of Pharaoh. Big Dreams is running on well. Old Deposition getting home late with Flitter, but Moss Rocket holding them all as they get near home, and Moss Rocket won the Expressway. Big Dreams second, third's real close, Pharaoh or Flitter. Deposition right on their heels, then Golden Sword, followed by Nasser Rich, Navy Seal, and then Umpala and Upwards, and Identikit is weakened to pull up at the tail of the field. Moss Rocket today, joint leader, coming around the turn, Forge clear and wins again. Moss Rocket pays $2.70 and $1.50. Number one, Big Dreams, to pay $1.80, and very close for third between Pharaoh, $4.50, or Flitter, which is TAB number 11, a place dividend of $2.10. Let's go back to Bill Lorry.
Johnny Tapp, number 7 in race 6 at Randwick, back here. Tasmania in with a big chance. 3 for 129, Young on 38, Tucker on 5. Nice little edge down to third man, but just the single. And then 1 or 2 boundaries here, as well as getting the singles, not putting too much pressure on themselves, keep the run rate up. Young 38 off 52, Tucker 6 off 12.
Yes, they've got a little bit of work to do yet, because once we get down to Colin Miller, Mark Hatton, the tail is quite long. So really, Young and Tucker have got to do the job here for the Tasmanians.
Ducked that beautifully. Holsworth coming around from mid-off as well, but they pick up 2. Holsworth a little bit in the Maxwell mould, very enthusiastic in the field, not as athletic as Maxwell, but a real goer. was well fielded down there at long off.
Sean Young starting to time the ball beautifully. He's a real swatter of the ball. He gives it a big wind-up. And there's the equation. 124 runs required. 5.35, that run rate just creeping up. Tasmania, as Bill mentioned, will want to keep on top of that, keep the score ticking over so as not to put too much pressure on batsmen coming in the lower order.
Nicely placed. Very good running. 3 for 1, 3 4.
In tonight's edition of National 9 News.
A yachtsman's lucky survival after falling overboard. Captured one of the world's most notorious computer hackers and peddling across the Atlantic.
National 9 News with Gina Boone tonight.
You're not going to ask me for a tip, are you?
No, Dad. This time I'm giving you a tip. 2 large pizzas are now only $15.90. So normally you save $1, but tonight you don't. See ya.
The mountains in the background there. It's a beautiful afternoon, quite clear, a little bit of cloud cover. Young on 42. Here's the key at the moment. He's striking the ball nicely. That was the New South Wales innings. And here's Tasmania just falling away. They got away to a great start. The first partnership was magnificent. And the loss of 2 quick wickets, and then the third one just about equal at the moment. A good match. Yes, runs on the board always very important. Sides chasing this season have struggled, although I think this is a better pitch than most. The ball's still coming onto the bat.
As it always seems to be the formula these days in one-day cricket, that sides who win the toss will choose to bat first, post a big score on the board, let the opposition chase them, largely because captains these days believe that it's easier to put pressure in the field on the opposition side, to build up the pressure, to stop the runs from flowing, get a few wickets, and that pressure mounts, and as a result, sides who have batted second and chase runs, as Bill mentioned, have found it very difficult this summer. The Tasmanians, though, at the moment, still in with a very, very good chance. A lot resting on these 2 batsmen at the wicket at the moment, Sean Young and Captain Rod Tucker.
Rod Tucker's tried to hoik the off-spinner Robson over mid-wicket. There's a man on the fence there now, right in front of the Mercantile Mutual sign, so maybe he works for protecting the $130,000. Right on the sign. He's beaten in fight, but gets some pat on it. That's a fair hit. That's about 75 metres. Tucker has indicated he wants to hit the off-spinner against the spin. Want to lap him over square leg.
Rod Tucker giving a call of yes then. He's just getting a little frustrated. Robertson's bowling well to him at the moment. He's chosen to go around the wicket, and he's bowling in at Tucker's pads, but getting the ball to then spin away from the batsman. So he's bowling a good line, knowing that if Tucker wants to play the sweep, he's got 2 men out there for the catch.
Mark Hatton come on for Tasmania with his left-arm orthodox spinning for 1 or 2 overs. Troubled the batsman, and they got on top of him. This is a challenge here for Tucker and Young to get on top of Robertson, who's bowling very nice line and length.
And not only is Gavin Robertson, who's got excellent figures there, 1 wicket for 9 runs, but not only is he stopping the singles, or stopping the fours coming and the boundaries coming, but he seems to be stopping the flow of the singles. He's bowling very much to his field. Emery shifting his field around at the moment, ensuring that as this is the last ball of the over, that they're trying to make it as difficult as they can for Tucker to have a big dip at it and score the boundary in the over. They'll be happy just to concede 1 from this last ball.
It's a maiden over, the second of the match so far. It's 3 for 134.
This engine has 2 valves per cylinder. It needs a highly resilient oil for long-lasting protection. Castrol GTX2. This engine has 4 valves per cylinder. It's a multi-valve and needs the protection of an easier flowing oil. Castrol GTX3. Both develop the same power, but because engines aren't engines, oils ain't oils. Castrol GTX2 and Castrol GTX3. Liquid engineering for your car.
After 28 overs, it's 3 for 134 as Ian Chappell and Richie Benaud take up the commentary.
Thank you, William. Very good stroke. There's been some lovely cricket played by the Tasmanians after they had that double reverse, losing the 2 wickets. And the significant thing is that they haven't allowed their run rate to get up to 6 and over. Around about 5 and a bit at the moment. But no stage has it got up above 6. And that's a very, very good thing in these run chasers. If you can keep it down below 6, in with a chance all the time. He's a little bit all over the place, Shane Lee. He's been short for quite a bit of the time, then he'll be a bit over pitched and a bit wide of the left-hander's off stump. But it's early days in his career. Enthusiastic at the moment. Plenty of time, very good and promising young all-rounder. Safely away, just a little chip. I'd suggest probably deliberate that he didn't hit it too far down the ground. Nice free swing of the bat. Afternoon, Ian Chappell.
Afternoon, Rich. Yes, his bowling has been
a little bit more suitable to him. Perhaps he'll just try and bowl straight.
Yes, a good move by Emery to bring Holdsworth back into the attack because he realises he has to take some wickets. But now he's got to give him the support now that he's brought him back, and he's going to have to put some fielders in some catching positions. He's got no one in the slips cordon, and it looks as if now he may be moving a man to gully, and that's what Emery must do. He's got to put some fielders into positions where they can take some catches as a result of false strokes. If they just leave the field spread around, it's going to be very easy for the Tasmanians just to milk the attack, just to keep the singles ticking over, and consequently they should achieve this target quite comfortably.
Oh, and that was a full toss and smashed away into the gap on the offside, and this will go to the fence, I reckon. Will he get his booty? No, he's just managed to drag it back. Well, that was a bad start for Holdsworth. Rank full toss outside off stump.
Yes, and just what you were talking about, Tony, he was erratic early on in his spell. In his first spell, Wayne Holdsworth. He's got to have a go, though. He's got to come in and bowl quickly and try and take a wicket. And as a result, he's always prone to bowl the odd loose delivery. And Sean Young's out there at the moment. He's in form. He's got himself set, and he'll make the most of those loose deliveries when they come by. But Phil Emery faced with a real problem.
That's better. Right up there in the block hole. And that's what he tried to do first ball, I think. Just over-pitched it a little bit. But if he can get it right up in the block hole, keep it up there, nice and straight, force them to play across the line, maybe that he'll get a wicket or two.
It may be even time to bite the bullet in terms of Phil Emery's captaincy. and bring long off up. Make the batsman try and hit the ball in the air. Whilst ever they're doing that, you've got a chance of getting a wicket.
That's nicely placed as well. Yes, I suppose the problem he's got out there is he's lost a bit of confidence in Holdsworth. The normal course of events, perhaps even going back a few years when he first came onto the scene, he would have done just that. But I suppose having watched him bowl that first spell where he was so erratic, lost a bit of confidence in him, and he's going to give him a few balls just to see how he goes. All he has to do is hope that one doesn't go flying into that slip cordon area. Oh, yes, he's holding that one up. Did he nick it? I don't think so. Well, it came back quite a long way. Now, it's not often that the ball comes back and the wicketkeeper has to move to his right-hand side if it hasn't hit the inside edge of the bat. So, let's have another look at that one, see if we can pick up an inside edge here.
Holdsworth got it right on the stumps. Ball deviates, may have come off the back pad. I don't think there was any hint of an inside edge there. There's a fair bit of gap. Umpire Rod Donaldson deciding that Sean Young didn't get an inside edge to that, so he lives to fight another few deliveries.
And that's a good ball. Yes, he may well have got the benefit of the doubt there. There's a little bit of pad in it, that's for sure. Whether there was any bat there, another question. Well, there's Holdsworth's season by season. 1990 season, he got 10 wickets. He hasn't got into double figures after that. And they're all calendar year figures. You can see that Tasmania are way ahead of where the New South Welshmen were, and New South Wales went on to score 255. Now Tucker is on 35, Young on 75, and it looks as if we're going to see another change out there, so a little bit of panic coming into this New South Wales side at the moment. McNamara has been brought back into the attack after just one over from Holdsworth.
Well, we can only assume that Phil Emery is trying all resources.
New South Wales, a lot of problems. Too many poor deliveries.
Free for 150.
Now Casino gives you even more ways to win. These new prize-winning combinations mean more winners. Plus, there are bigger payouts than ever before. More money. And look at this. Every week there's a giant $10,000 pay packet to be won. So more winners, more money. People are winning every few minutes, 7 days a week. So get down to your club and play Club Keno. It's a whole new ball game. Club Keno winner could be you.
Delivery. Run rate now required, 5.3 runs per over.
Two teams very close together after 30 overs in this Mercantile Mutual Cup game. Young 52, Tucker 12. Neil Maxwell coming back now, down at the River Derwent end. Round the wicket to the left-hander Tucker. And again, the left-hander Young. Young Tucker.
All cricketers are young to us, Rich.
True. The one in the centre of your screen there has done a good job. We were talking earlier about the composition of the Australian A side, which is going to go to England in the summer, which I think is a good concept. There's a chap who would be very handy. Sort of all-rounder who you could class as a bowling all-rounder. Bat at, say, 7 or 8. Be your third seamer and swing bowler. And it'd be quite useful making runs down there as well. No indication as yet from the selectors what type of side would be chosen, but I think it'd have an accent on youth and 1 or 2 slightly more experienced players. Too keen on the look of Maxwell out there. He's inclined to pull up short. He was to be going around in that expressway handicap we've just seen from Randwick. You wouldn't want your money on him at the moment.
As you can see, as he finishes his follow-through there, looks like it might be a calf muscle, I think. Neil Maxwell just trying to stretch it a little. He's really struggling after he lets the ball go.
That's the point where it grabs him. Field's okay, and then there's a real grimace. Don't get too many grimaces out of Maxwell. No ball, and he hadn't called that, he might have called wide.
Neil Maxwell in his 7th over. A bit of a blow for New South Wales if he can't complete the 10.
Oh, well fielded. Beautifully fielded. End of the over, and we're going to take it now to Flemington for race 7. It's the Blamey Stakes, 1,600 metres. John Russell will be calling it after the brilliant call he gave in the Australian Guineas.
2 starts for 3 wins, 9 seconds and 3/3, and has amassed a total of 711,000 in prize money. Now, Raleen coming in has won 3 out of his 4, his last 4. Paris Lane should be ready to produce his best form after 2 runs this time in. Station Hand, second behind Durbridge in last year's Australian Cup, finishing ahead of Mahogany. Field is set. Light on for the Blamey. And they're off. And Station Hand jumped away nicely to the inside from Blue Boss, who began quickly, and so did Trista Love, and Durbridge is just behind them. Going up on the outside of Presser, being followed by Royal Snack and Starstruck behind them. Paris Lane the inside, Raleen deeper on the tracker, and they were being closely followed a bit further back in the field by Innocent King from Ice Doctor, and Telesto has dropped out to last, 1,250 metres outer, and Durbridge has dashed to the front by a half length to Blue Boss, a length and a half further back as Trista Love, followed by Station Hand to Presser, then Raleen 2 lengths away, Starstruck, a length and a half, Paris Lane, Innocent King back behind them, and further back to Royal Snack, followed by Ice Doctor, and last of all Telesto, 900 metres out, and they're well strung out, and Durbridge setting a solid pace, about a length to Blue Boss, a length and a half, Trista Love on the outside of Station Hand. In behind them is a presser as they pass the 800, followed by Ralline on the rails, a length and a half Starstrucker. Innocent King is commencing a forward move, and further back to Paris Lane. Next over on the outside to Ice Doctor, followed by Royal Stack, and still last of all to Leicester. Round the turn, 550 metres out as they straighten up, and Durbridge travelling well. Leads a length and a half. Blue Boss in third place is Trista Love down the outside. Station Hand getting the run on the rails is finishing on. Further back is Ralline. Paris Lane's a long way back as they come down past the 400, and Durbridge is battling on tenaciously. Station Hand trying to get through on the inside. Deeper on the track, Trista Love, and they're followed then by Blue Boss and Starstruck, and Paris Lane under the weapon. But Durbridge is going strongly. Here comes Station Hand down the outside. Durbridge is the leader. Station Hand is trying to get to Durbridge, is battling on courageously. Durbridge is too strong. Durbridge by a half length to Station Hand, 2 lengths away third. Starstruck a good runner. Paris Lane has run home well for fourth, followed by Innocent King, and then Blue Boss and Trista Love, who weakened out of it. Royal Snack behind them. Ralline, Ice Doctor, and the last couple home to Leicester, who failed to fire today, and back with him was a presser.
They don't come any more game than Durbridge. A big win there in the Blamey Stakes at Flemington. Prices, tote prices to come shortly. But in the meantime, Tasmania 3 for 160 here at Bellerive. Courtney for 22 and Divenuto for 33 with the first 2 wickets to go. Then Cox for 18. Good shot. Ooh. He has just missed $130,000. Well, bad luck for the kid with his 700 bucks. But that wasn't far away. It was beautifully struck. Oh, and he took it away from his mate. Or, to be more accurate, from the fellow who used to be his mate. Rodney Tucker will have to face Gavin Robertson from over the wicket this time. This is the shot. There's the spectator. Oh. $700. What could we have done with that? Three for 167.
It's so easy with Janome. Yeah, it's so easy with Janome.
And right now, Janome's also easy to buy. The new JD18 with easy one-step buttonhole is now only $349. The ever so easy 134D differential feed overlocker now just $499.
It's so easy. It's so easy with Janome.
Available now from your nearest participating Janome retailer.
Three for 167. Tasmania ahead of what New South Wales were at the same stage. That's after 32. This is Maxwell. Man with a bad calf muscle. It's quite lively. Matches being played in other parts of the country and overseas. Queensland looks as though they're going to win there, and that will give them an enormous boost for the opportunity to host the Sheffield Shield final. The first time ever. 4 for 183, needing 201. Border and Jimmy Marr. A bit of jubilation in the old town tonight, Ian.
Which old town, Rich?
Brisbane's a new town these days, but it used to be an old town when I went up there with the old shanty for the dressing rooms. But this could be the biggest thing that's happened to them in cricket up there. 1926-7, they joined the Sheffield Shield. Looks as though they'll have the chance to host the final.
Yes, well, they didn't seem to be doing too much to the Gabba when we were there last weekend. I think they might be hoping that they get the final at the Gabba, and they've got full accommodation.
They were going to be ripping down some of the stands, but they put that on hold. Whoever made the decision might have been an inspired one. A big opportunity there for Queensland to beat Victoria in that Shield game. But challenging them for it, the Western Australians, now that would be a result. Needing 407 to win, they're 5 for 316 with Tom Moody 54.